Open Frosty Tools, whatever. I'm trying this again to see if my stream works. Welcome back in, Tech Cheaper. I'm trying to see if this fixes some of my audio issues. Got all the extras turned off. $1,000 better. That still might leave room for improvement. Yes, I've rebooted. I had to turn off OBS. This computer may not be enough to run it. I've got OBS off. I've got all the extra sound effects off. We're running strictly through Restream. I am streaming on YouTube and Twitch, but that might be what we have to do. What does it look like on your end? Yeah, ads. Commercial. They're saying the audio is a lot clearer, usable. Well, we may have to run without OBS for a while. I was also trying a new mic. I've got this lapel mic. It's sitting in front of me. We did release this file, which was a request. It's in the members section. It is a little T-Rex that holds the maker chip. We also do have a printing version of the Tiger that is coming out. Let me see if I turn it up a little bit. Let's see. Okay, how does that help on audio? I'll turn it up a little bit. And also try a different mic. It might be that strictly my computer won't handle it. So,
it's possible, like everything, it's a lot better than it was.
Well, maybe this will work for at least tonight. So we did release this. Hopefully the Tiger, it probably won't be done until we're done streaming, will it?
No, not unless you're streaming for a bazillion hours.
No, not planning on that tonight. It's I'm not sure how long my stream will last, especially with the audio issues. Plus, I kicked everybody out, so I'll be lucky if I get 5 or 6 people realistically coming back. In fact, it says only one person's watching. So that might be. Huh? Yeah, slowly. People are returning. But yeah, it so quiet. Okay, well. I am trying. It might be the PC more as much as the internet. With this, we'll have to work on that. I may not be able to have. I didn't light any fireworks off, so I kept all my fingers.
You haven't lit fireworks off in like many years.
I think. When the last time I lit off fireworks is? Probably before I met you.
You did it at your brother's 1 year.
With you here?
Yeah, he went down and got all his fireworks for their anniversary.
Yeah, because their anniversary is the 5th. Yeah. Yeah.
When I was here that year.
Okay.
2010? 2009, maybe?
Oh yeah, right before we dropped Bad Boy. Yeah, okay. I guess we did light up fireworks one year when you were here. We used to sell mowers from a company that had a fireworks distributorship. So we bought fireworks from them, essentially wholesale. But I haven't lit off fireworks since then. In fact, I didn't light them off very many times before then. But
You haven't lit any, what was your dad's stock of stuff?
he's got something that's essentially dynamite in there.
Say that.
It's legal, barely, but it's legal. But yeah, we're not gonna have alerts tonight. Sorry, I think I've got them turned off. I will have to figure out a solution for that. If I can get the audio to work, I can actually use Restream for the rest and keep a lot of it on the internet. What?
Oh, the audio seems fine to me now. I mean, I get.
Well, we might go fix the mic or
Right.
something of that nature.
It's not the video is not hesitating as much either.
Okay.
So something was hosting.
Welcome, Jay Rabideau. We're working on the stream, trying to actually make it tolerable. I apologize for the issues I've been having.
Kicking everybody out constantly.
Yes. It is open. If anybody would like to join, the joining is through a service, so it doesn't affect my computer. It shouldn't be. Join in. And thank you for the subscription earlier. I cannot tell who it was, but I'm gonna get into that. Not yet, but I do appreciate whoever it was that followed, and I think somebody subbed. But yeah, we're huh? Oh, is TechKeeper subbing?
I think so.
Oh. Oh, I get it. Yeah, you were on for a while. I had it on the backdrop while we were trying to do some video editing for that the video for this thing today, and goofy.
Did you drop the video?
What I did on TikTok. I'm not going to torture everybody by making them watch it here.
I love it.
I don't know that I can with the setup we have.
So you put it on TikTok?
Yeah.
Put it on Insta?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But we'll be able to drop it right on because it's the same with that audio being ours. We're doing well. Thank you for joining, Polymorph. Well as could be. The audio is hopefully working now. We don't have any sound effects. I am going to fix that. I'll figure out a way. We might also move the streamer bot off this and move that onto something else to get rid of processing. But yeah, we probably will next week. Start it up.
Probably do it in the middle week when there's not.
What?
Go live in the middle of the week.
Yeah. We're working on it. I think it might have been my computer on some of the audio settings. We might be overloading the processor with the virtual mixer. The Stream Decks might be pulling off too much juice from this laptop. I'm using a I guess cheap laptop for the best way to put it. We had for the business. So I gave her my better desktop for design. This one kind of muddles through. Yeah, I get it, Polymorph, but I got to buy it. So I'm trying to get my money spent on projects, essentially. I've been trying to pick out paints and get some of that stuff rolling and repair some stuff. We'll work on the streaming when I can get the other things going, preferably. It's going to be a process, but we will upgrade as I can afford to or justify it. I'd like to. We may even add it to a. There is a project that would include a new computer, but I got to get some other things going first. You're halfway to another computer. I get it. I mean, I was looking at a project, and then after I got the project done, thinking about robbing the computer. If I built a new computer, it would be in the Motorola case. I don't know if I've shown it. I can't drag it over here today, but that's what I would be building it in, realistically. And that's kind of hard to move around. The radio cabinet.
That'd be really hard to move around.
Yeah, impossible actually.
I wouldn't say impossible, but not logical. Oh, you should make a small one that looks just like it. Move that one around.
Yeah. Actually, and make it to where you put it inside.
Little replica.
I noticed that. I mean, the RAM has gone insane for AI. I mean, 32 gigabytes of RAM is hardly affordable now. It's just absolutely nuts. Yeah, the GPUs. I mean, all of it just not even possible right now, hardly. Um, I was. I'd like to put an AI computer in the old radio cabinet and do some cool effects with it, like make it look like tubes and other effects for it, 3D print some ideas, and finish it up. But the sheer cost, I mean, a desktop that would run a basic AI program can run you 3 to 4 grand. And I we bought this before RAM went crazy, and I wish I would upgrade the RAM for this laptop. But I was buying the laptop for the front desk. I had a desktop at the time, but I mean, but she's got the desktop, but she's got more requirements than I do. So Sandy's got the better computer.
Are you trying to make me feel bad?
No.
I guess you want me to give up my old computer.
What?
My other one would be a little bit better, but not a whole lot.
No. That's not fair.
More like cores on it.
I mean, yeah. We'll figure it out. If it's running like it is, we may just have to pay for the StreamYard setup and go on top of that, where it's just using my camera. 96 gigabytes of RAM in your computer. I didn't think it was quite that, or 96 gigabytes. Now, can I add Maker in here? He's joined. Let me get rid of chat off of the screen here. Okay, am I the only one not hearing him? I don't have your audio, but maybe it's just me. Okay, it's not just me. Okay, now I hear you.
Yeah, I just selected a lot of audio there.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I had to.
Catch me up on what's going on. Sorry, I missed the beginning of the show.
The beginning of the stream was me trying to fix my stream enough to make it tolerable. I've uninstalled all my audio mixers, removed OBS from the equation. Now I'm going straight to Streamlabs, just like you are. Basically means no intros, any of the sound effects, none of that works. All that jazz. That's essentially where we're at. I can hear you. You could join as well, Biking Viking. I've never had you in there. Let's see. He is. We could turn him down a little bit, but I cannot turn me up.
Turn down the what?
It's got your
it's from
volume
a
up.
song. It's from a song.
Yeah.
Just teasing.
Okay, I've turned you down a little bit. Let's see if that helps.
Does it improve the quality of the show? That's what one always needs to know.
If we're going for that, Sandy had me on mute.
There you go.
If,
There you go.
Yeah, I think if I pay for the upgraded version of Restream, I'll be able to add the sound effects back in. So I'll see what I can do. That's
Yeah,
probably-
I don't use the paid version of Restream. That's even
I
more.
don't either. Well, this is no, this I'm on the free version right now because I've been spending my money elsewhere. But if I update to the paid version, which I think is only like 15 a month, I can actually add screens and add sound effects. He streamed earlier, so he probably is tired. And I think he was in Captain's stream as well most of the day. So what you streamed about 8 hours today? 6.
Something like that, yeah.
I had him up in the background, but I had other things going on, so I don't know. Not sure how long you were in there.
Just when people call for a little backup, I just try to show up. You know, it's I try to grow everything beyond, and I did some designing, but I grow everything beyond just me, right? So it's like push, right?
Yeah, I appreciate you joining me on this one. It's
Yeah.
it's always a good stream when you start up and you find out that nobody can even understand a word you say.
That's always a great sign. Yeah, absolutely.
But we
Hey, Polymorph.
Sandy's claiming it's better than what it's been in a while. So
Oh, that's good.
as far as the stream, so that we may have found the audio issues being my computer as much as anything. I don't think that's all of it, but we'll see. We'll see if I drop tonight. I don't have the VPN on because that's removed. I literally removed everything I could and cut it back to as basic as possible.
You're very clean. You're very clear. You're very very apparent in the restream. So I'm just a little burnt out.
Does the
Don't mind
laptop
me.
get hot? Not really. As far as on it, I mean, no worse than when I'm doing CAD. It's not the best computer, but unfortunately, it's going to have to do until I can get some money put aside for that type of equation, because I have to keep to where some of this is good. I'll throttle.
Yeah.
I suspect I was putting too much onto it, and it was just overloading it, because OBS is a memory hog.
Yeah.
And then you add an audio mixer in there to try to get the audio to work with Restream because of the overlays audio from, like when you guys click a button, it plays on my laptop, and then it has to be restreamed back out. So that all adds up. And plus, my camera requires an app to play because it's PTZ and AI camera. So that requires a little bit. So it's probably all the above.
I like the way the studio looks.
What, are you talking about mine?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, it's starting to look really nice behind you there. You got quite the little environment before you.
that's gonna be moved inside the office because like some of the stuff I'd be mad if it disappeared. You could tell there's some gifts up there, and at some point this winter, I'm going to build a wall and put the gifts inside the lockable office because I would be mad if somebody walked off with some of them.
So when does the
Because
Spitmaker studio open?
it's if somebody wants to come in and work with me right now, I'll say it's open. Insurance wise, I mean, it's just a friend working right now. The insurance stuff we're still figuring out for a lot of things. But the as far as that, it's if somebody came in, they can come in and work. I get that. My stream, the amount of filament you run for a print farm does not mount on the wall behind you, Woodcraft. So that is more of a streamer thing than a print
I
farm.
don't see any filament behind me. Well,
Um,
maybe a couple, but you wouldn't be able to tell through the chaos.
Waiver party next week. uh, the problem would be finding housing here as far as getting everybody, but we are planning on some of that. Get a picture of filament, put it up there. You know, I'll stream in front of a filament wall if that makes you guys happy sometime.
It does not.
But
It never makes me happy when I see that.
the problem is most of my filament's like in boxes and bags until
Yeah.
it's open and then you try to reuse it. It's not. I have a hard time displaying it using my filament as a backdrop. I don't
Filament
care if
walls
other
are
people
growing.
do it, but it's difficult for me. And also, a lot of my colors are the same. You'll have like 8 or 9 of the same one, 3 or 4 back. Yeah. I'm not going to say anybody. I think a lot of people are using it. They're in a position to where they want to decorate their wall with filament. If you're trying to actually run a print farm, I think it's hard. Now, if you're running a streaming and you're running 3 or 4 printers, it's a different story. When you add every printer, it adds more to it. I'm not going to get on a ladder every time I want to roll a filament. It sits a little lower than what the filament walls do. I'm not going to climb over my printers to get to my filament because we'll run serious.
So you appreciate the filament on the floor like I stack it?
I
There's
mean,
like rows of it by color, so I can see what I've got. It's true.
uh,
I'm clearly not a real influencer. That's true. I'll take that. Absolutely.
uh, I'm not going to say how anybody else does it. I just know that if you're, in my case, trying to run the printers like for real and get production done, it's very difficult if I were to put my filament on a rows behind me to climb up and get it.
You put empty rolls
Yeah,
behind you.
I mean, I'm not. I'm not gonna say like keep it all sealed and properly. No, it sits out when I'm waiting on another filament roll to do it. But you'll when you're running production, you don't have 100 rolls, or most of us don't have like 100 different rolls of different colors.
I
We'll
don't.
have the rolls we're using. We'll have 10 of each. You know,
I don't even have that much.
um, we'll buy a lot of our colors in packs of 10 when we're running.
Yeah.
But we're also running in see, you got 6X1Cs, 2A1s, and the as far as multicolor printers, and the U1. So that's enough printers that I'm to try to keep production. I know there's streamers that have more printers than me that don't run production,
I
but
have 3.
um, it's
3
still
total
enough that
printers.
I'm not going to
And
put a filament
one's
wall.
disassembled currently.
Yeah. I mean, uh, and I've got the two. I've got a couple that are disassembled, basically. But to each their own. As I said, I've got what we use is grocery store shelving, and it'll be 3 deep on colors. And then when we get to the back row, we order more.
That's fair.
Essentially, is what we do, and I still run out. Uh, that's RGB. You know, I thought about doing. I haven't done enough with color mixing yet, but if we get ever master color mixing where you had like 5 colors that you used in a printer, it'd be great. Uh, but yeah, I'm trying to keep the bad influencer, which I was shocked that he how I wondered how many he gave the bad influencer chip to. If people noticed Sam Prentice's, he had a second chip. You got one of the bad influencer ones. Um, he actually had a chip that said bad influencer on it. He was giving out. When I first saw it, I wondered if it was a chip aimed at some of us.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Sam Prentice had I don't know if it was a rare chip or what. But what happened to his? So he had the one where it was a Sam Prentice chip, and then he had another one that just said bad influencer on it that he was giving out. I didn't see anybody else with one of them, so I wondered if it was a rare one. But he was handing that out. So I didn't know if it was aimed at some of us or what, as a joke. But I don't know him that well, obviously, so I don't think he even hardly would know that I exist, other than maybe Tripod. But yeah, it does sound like a bad movie name. It also feels like it is actually quite fitting for me. I do actually believe I am a bad influence on some people, especially probably shenanigans. Yeah, I'm somewhat shocked he hasn't told everybody the story of how we got the how I got the fire done. He probably will some night if you actually catch him at the right time, because I did tell him. I could have those good ideas. Tech Cheaper was there when I told Shenanigans how I got the fire going. I'm not telling that on stream. But we removed all of the virtual mixers retro. So hopefully that helps. That is, yeah, that is one for him to decide to tell. Yes. Yeah, that's that one is for him. But I did, I guess you'd say, cheat when I got him to make the rocket engine. But Tech Cheaper was there when I told him so. The manner in which I cheated, or influenced the stream. But yeah. This does anybody have any more ideas for the maker chip holders? I did hear the request for a pigeon. We'll think about it, but right now I think the pigeon would look kind of stupid with its mouth open like that. So we'll have to figure out a way to do it. So, but I do have the idea for the pigeon that you'll see for our next couple large designs that may come out, that it would work. Snakehead, that actually would be a good one.
Or a dragon.
Yeah, like dragons aren't inspiring right now for me. We'll see. There's just so much. I mean, I don't know. Snakehead is more, uh, I think, interesting. But we'll add the those to the list of ideas. Right now, we're working on some large prints. In fact, I need to email Polymaker on Monday to see if I can maybe get it sponsored on an absolutely huge print we're doing that we're going to release. If I could find the file, I'd be releasing that large Fallout inspired print. The guy with his thumb up.
Cool.
Make it a phone holder, but for some reason I can't find the damn file anymore. You know, you do so much, the ones you release get buried. I don't know if you've had that a good file lost that way.
Me? Nah, I don't release many files.
You've had some that you haven't released, I'm sure.
Couple.
And I'm sure you'll run into a few that you regret not releasing, just like that. But
I
it's
I've
borderline fan
definitely
art.
slowed down on my releases. So even if it's tested and printed, I may not release it. It's gotten to a point where it's like, meh. But I don't
We
have
don't.
like the same sort of following you do. So it's I yeah, I'm not as much of a collective influence as you are.
Well, I think that could be debatable.
Bah.
Um, but we're so picky on quality. We're always not releasing files. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
um, by any means we're probably publishing less than 50% of the files we make that we intend for.
Yeah.
We think either it's funny, and in some cases, the large one that's going to take about a week to make at least, it is funny, um, or we think it'll sell.
Yeah.
Uh, that I'll always be geared towards on releasing files as much as possible sellable.
Yeah.
Now, do I think the maker chip holder is sellable? Yes, but not typically as a maker chip holder. This will hold a challenge
Well,
for
and
the
a pen.
military. The pen was the other one. This version won't. It looks stupid when it does. Maybe I guess it would, but it looks stupid. That's what this one is. Uh, Now that's sellable. People put that on their desk and put their Apple Pen or glasses. I don't have glasses, so I don't. Well, have somebody try that. Business cards. This will hold because this is basically this is the 50th anniversary of the car show, the dash plaque they gave out. Yeah, I had glasses. I had surgery, so I'll probably get them again, but I don't have them now. But that will actually
Yeah, it could be a
we
sponge or scrubbing pad.
we do have some of those. You'd have to enlarge it quite a bit, probably for a scrubbing pad. But yeah, yeah, I had the eye surgery where yeah, uh, never doing that again. I kicked the nurse because apparently me and certain medications don't get along. So you don't give me anything that modifies my brain or pain relievers. No, I had just the standard eye surgery.
Plus two to
Uh,
perception or awareness.
so yeah, I don't do well on certain prescription drugs. They gave me something to calm me and it freaked me out. So it didn't go well. I was told never to come back. We were lied to. Um, yeah, I'm not the the robot that is maker here. He's the one with the charger. Or have you upgraded to wireless charging yet?
I don't know what you're talking about. Me, a robot? Never.
So, but yeah, that they will hard. I guess you could probably sell it for business card holders. You're correct. I
Yep.
hadn't thought of the business card angle, but the I don't think that most people would buy them for maker chips. That's my opinion. They'll print
Maker
them.
chip is very much a community item. It might be a good gift. You can always try and put it for sale, right? That's like the new video on TikTok's great. Is that's an excellent video. I like the music for it. It's just very niche. We keep forgetting that 3D printing is such a small part, right? Small part of the world. So
Uh, but they do hold poker chips. Now that
yeah.
may
Favorite
have a
favorite
market.
casino, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there are people that collect poker chips. They do hold business cards. They do hold challenge coins for military people.
Yeah.
So there are sellable merchandise for them. In
Oh yeah.
fact, we actually did take them to a car show and sold them because they gave away. In fact, this is it. It fell in the mouth of it when I was moving around. They gave away poker chips at that car show for the last year, and people bought this to display the poker chips.
Very clever.
Uh, we found out about it and came home and did that. So there's a market on occasion for them, but we gave the those away for free on Maker World because we didn't think most people were going to be selling Maker chip holders.
Yeah, I got to draw that attention for sure.
So yeah, and well, ideally, I honestly wish that we could only charge people that sold prints. I'd say every maker really wishes that, but we live in the real world, and we know if we release it there, then everybody's going to go home and tell their buddy to print and not buy from the people that are paying for us. So
Yeah.
we don't release our files for free strictly so that those that are paying memberships, when they go to shows, they can tell people no, they can't go to Maker World or
Well, and
printables and
licensing,
all that.
licensing's a fair thing. We definitely know of quite a few creators that do licensing and make quite a good income from it, right? It's worth the time and effort.
Yes, we are making an income from it.
Yeah.
Am I able to retire and do nothing but that? No. Not to that stage. But I do know of designers that are making, actually I know of one that's probably making 50 to 60,000 at least a month.
Yeah.
You know.
It is what it is, right? So I think it is worth, continuing and pursuing.
And it's going to help us with the income to get this other business off the ground.
Yeah.
Where we make things for people and we open it up for people to come in. As far as when the doors are open, I have to get my bathroom done. I've got to get a few things done before I can even get to that now. But that's when I have a legal bathroom is when the maker spaces is going to be officially open.
That's what I was asking earlier. Yeah.
That's the official opening.
The big hurdle right now.
Yes. We're figuring out what we can do because I was hoping to get it handicap accessible adjacent.
Sure.
I don't know that I can actually get it handicap accessible with the configuration of my building, but I would like to get it as close as possible for that. I can't claim it's handicap accessible, and I get that, but it would be nice if a handicapped person could use it.
Yeah.
If nothing else. And I get the fact that too many handicapped people use a makerspace.
You never know, man. You never know.
It's not ramps, polymorph. It's the way that the building's built. I'm going to have a hard time getting the walls and everything arranged around the toilet in the manner to get it handicap accessible.
Enough room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just take all the walls down. Retro knows what's going on. just rip everything down and then rebuild it. It's not like it's a small fortune or anything. It's fine.
And the fact that that's actually happens a lot. Paul Phillips. I mean, what really pisses me off, sadly, is when people take the models and claim them as theirs. That's the worst. That is actually that is the one guy that I have ranted against, and I made a lot of enemies because I hated him to the point where it was because he emailed me asking me for files to print to help push, and then he stole the files, slopped some stuff on top of it, and released them claiming they're his. Why would you want to be Bob's cosplay though, Tech Cheaper?
Why wouldn't you want to be Bob? The man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, nice. An interview. Hopefully it goes well there, Darth Gallo.
Oh, that sounds great.
I mean, there are quite a few. I mean, we'll do takedown requests at least once a month. I've got one guy who will go up there and say, or claim our files literally monthly. Oh, are you managing my booth? Because Tech Cheaper would get you more stuff. What sure are we talking about in the merch store? I thought about bringing merch, but welcome in shenanigans. I did actually bring in a couple pairs of gloves that we'd made in the shop and gave them away.
Yeah, they were cool. I got a set.
Oh, eh, might as well have Tech Cheaper. I did get a few things stolen. Sure, this is a was going to be a uniform shirt for the shop.
Down the one.
How about a dishwasher that contains sand and seashells? You know, I'm actually shocked she hasn't done something like that. We're doing well. Been avoiding the heat as much as possible. It was a tad warm this week. Just worked out there as little as humanly possible, which is new for me. Kind of felt lazy coming in when it got in the heat of the day. Anytime it got over probably 95 degrees, I came in here.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's new for me. I was out there in the when it would top 110. So, because you had mufflers inside of a building, even with the door open, it's still increasing the temperature to levels that are insane. And we're running with air cooled engines, so it gets quite warm in there. You run 3 or 4 of them, and your building will heat up, no matter what the fan. Because fans will exhaust the fumes, and they'll make your skin feel a little bit cooler, but they won't pull that heat out of the building really. So it would get quite toasty in the afternoons. Oh, but this year I'm not working out there, so in the heat of the day, I came in here and was tried to take continuing education lessons and working on my website, which I think is down right now. So I don't believe my. Yep, it should be up in the next couple of days. Hopefully, it'll be to the site Tech Cheaper started, and I did a lot of modifications too for GitHub. But yeah, hopefully by the end of next week, I've got to wait for some DNS settings to change because I moved it. But we are working. We have a tiger in the process. We'll show it if it prints before it's done. Guess I can show a white version, but you can't see that.
Nice.
Kind of hard to see
Let
details in white.
me show you this amorphous blob.
Yes. But it should be done. We are working on some large prints after that. I don't know. Is there anything else small going on, Sandy? Do we have anything small we're going to release before we go to a couple of large prints?
I don't know.
Okay. We're working on a
Is
large
this
one now.
something wanted?
Well, they did ask for a snake maker chip holder.
A what?
A snake maker chip holder,
I gotta look into it.
but that's the only request.
Ooh, 4-color TPU, fancy.
You know, I said I was going to do that polymorph, and I haven't done it. That's actually the main reason I wanted the U1 was I thought 4-color TPU, and
Yeah, TPU patches winning with a Velcro
I
background. Yep.
I do have some TPU patches.
Well, because they make them out of PVC too, right? Like that's how they're typically done, is extruded, not extruded, but cast PVC.
What happened to the
I like
TPU
it.
patches? But I did do a round of those, but because I applied them to some hats that bring to Murph, unfortunately the adhesion for the hats came off, and I ended up I could right here. Got the hat came the bottom of the thing came off, so but that is a TPU hatch for that. It looks sharp, and they are quite flexible, so I do recommend it.
Oh, that's cool.
Basically a pen plotter, multicolor pen plotter. I don't know. I have a hard time thinking that as far as doing, we thought about similar ideas at one point. We have even a pen plotter that goes on my CNC router, and we have one for our vinyl cutter. But the question I would have is, how's it going to compete with a printer? And that's where I've always quit. Now, is it a cool idea? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, especially on a pre-existing machine where you can swap parts out, but as an individual machine, not so much, right?
well, that's been my every time I talk about it. Now, would I watch somebody else building it? Yes. I mean, I'm not going to say I wouldn't. Um, it's just, or technically, I would probably think about making it for the CNC router. Yeah, it's kind of like the coffee machine where they had it where it would brew coffee in a U1. I mean, it's an exercise to see if you can do it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I respect that. I just I've got a few things I want to do larger. Like I would like to work with the silicone printer and add some features to that. Uh, I'd like to make my own EDM machine because the one that was released was on the weak side from what the diagrams on the GitHub is. I'd like to do my own version that's a little bit stronger. Because honestly, I want to be able to mount it in the mill and burn up a stuck screw. So I'm wanting a little bit more than what cutting a little aluminum plate would do for EDM, because I want it to be useful in other issues. Welcome in, it's Howie DeWitt, 3D.
How we do it?
So,
It's my boy.
you familiar with him?
Yes. Yeah.
Guessing from
Howie.
Dad's Garage.
He's part of the Rugrats crew. He is so wonderful. He did a bunch of prints for my event.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to release these models. I don't know what to do. Do I release them as individuals or as a set? That's what's getting me.
What kind of models are they?
Minis. And I've got a ton of them.
I don't think that X-Tools has a set that did pins, but the Carbide 3D does. The CNC router company, because they actually, my router that I bought, or yeah, I say bought from them, came with one.
I think I just
Or the
didn't
router I
release
got from
as
them.
individuals. I think I'm doing this wrong. New project. No.
I think you should release them as individuals and then make a, which website?
I'd be on Thangs because it's minis.
Don't they have collections that you could? Or do
I
you have
don't
to have
even.
it on
I have
page?
no idea how that works. I'll be honest with you. But I don't understand their website at all anymore.
I would actually do it and do it as a collection. In fact, that would really be helpful on yours. To where you could
Yeah,
sell them as a single collection.
I
But
just don't.
it'd even be helpful to as far as to like downloading.
I don't
I really need
understand
to use
how
it more.
their grouping system works, because it's like I should be able to separate that out, and then it shouldn't. Yeah, because when I look at Dave make stuff, I'm so confused at what's what, you know. So
A lot of us have such varied interests. It's really hard to search, and the search stuff doesn't work that great even on things.
yeah,
Sadly, I think it's just so much out there. But you know, I've got to search my own stuff,
yeah.
and I feel how everybody else is. I like the as going through one of the social medias the other day, and somebody's like, "Well, you should pay for my commercial membership because all the people aren't releasing files, and I've got sellable files." Like, yeah, most of us do. Not knocking again. I enjoy the hustle. She had files out. Um, the files look pretty good actually, but you know, the some of us were getting so large that we even forgot what we've done, and sadly, like it's hard to go back and paint them because we did 300 to 400 models before bamboo was popular, which means we have to paint 300 to 400 models to catch back up. You know, we're not, yeah, with the amount of work we're doing. I'm not, I'm not sure who was it Jacka is on that one, but they. I know that most of the X tool stuff I see is like when they're using the diode laser or the IR the IR laser or the diode or U or what is it CO or not or fiber laser to color with metal. I haven't seen anything with like a ink pen. Um, you may look at one thing on Paul. I just reread that message. Look at how the U1 does it, where it slides over. It goes into its cradle and slides a pin lock over to switch it from the cradle to the head by going left or right. It'll take a little bit of coding to move the head in the right location to disengage and engage the pin. But their system is actually quite good for that method. There are some things I'm not so fond of on the U1, but the disengaging, engaging the way that they're doing it by using a pin in the cradle to hold it where it locks and unlocks it is a smart idea. Using the cradle to put levers and gears to move it around. That would be, I think, the best way to accurately lock and unlock a pin. The issue you're going to have on the pin, and my guess on it, would be getting the Z right, unless you do a spring load to where it can be offset a little bit, because lining the pin up to the exact right location to where you wouldn't be either pressing too hard down or not hard enough would be an issue. I fully understand. I hope you have a good night, Darth Gallon. Glad to have you here, and
Love you, brother.
I
Be
know you've been
safe.
busy.
Send me a DM.
So,
Tell me all about it.
but I used to think a servo lock for these was it, but I actually think on a ink pen, if you
Just a
are
magnet.
a marker, a magnet with a, I do think a pen lock would be useful to remove.
Just like should be like a T frame with two magnets on it, so that when it loads it, and then on the pen side it's just a clamp, and it's just just a T frames to support the large side of it, and that lets you travel. And if it's a recessed pocket, even better. But it's if you go look at the Mad Max conversion for the V1, that's how it works. So it's pretty straightforward stuff.
Yeah, see, I would have actually put a pin lock on it, but
It,
you know,
remember, it's not pushing down on it. It's just it comes to a height and then drags. So it's like setting correct heights and stuff is a different animal altogether. But yeah.
you could actually
Oh
do
yay!
spring
I'm
load
being
on that.
tagged in whips. Thanks, Bob.
This is not that was not my fault. But by the way, since he's mentioned it, this is the best time to tag Maker on Whip, post and Whip. Do not tag him in the first post, but tag him afterwards so that he sees it. He definitely appreciates it on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Makes him happy.
Yeah, appreciate that
So
when I want to. Every time I go look, there's something new and I can't look at it. I appreciate that. You guys are so kind.
um, well, I try.
You are very trying. Yes.
12. When you're looking at trying to do, especially friction, um, a spring
Well,
downforce should work.
the magnet is doing all the work for you.
Yes, it's the appropriate time to tag him after you post in Whip.
It's not. Just stop by for the show on Sundays and say hi. Let me know what you're working on. I love to see what you guys are working on. Remember, one of the things that we believe in the vast majority of the 3D print community is your success is my success, and I love to see what you guys are working on. Please don't listen to Built Over Bot. He's not the most helpful in these situations.
I think I'm very helpful in all situations.
Yeah, you
I give
think
the
that.
best advice, and
Well, you are quite popular in the advice department.
I have a reputation.
It's true, you do. Charming, interesting fellow. That's what you are. Turn down the what?
I think I have a reputation for my advice, and it's a very good reputation because everybody is going to think twice before following some of it. So,
What is
it doesn't
going
put me in a
on,
good place.
Mr. Carrot? What super exciting things do you have going on? I'm sorry, I'm doing because if I don't do it now, I probably won't do it, and I won't release the files. And Bob was like, "Oh, we never release enough files." I was like, "Oh yeah, I have a bunch outstanding." So, sorry. Taking Bob's advice to be creative. You know what I mean?
The stealth chain. I was very tempted to buy the index head because those went on sale, I guess, recently. The kits.
Yeah, the Bondtech ones. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bondtech index for converting my CR10 Max over to a multi. The idea of what I had an idea of was convert it to a Core XY and then put an index head on it.
Yeah.
Preferably design it to be an IDEX with sets of index heads, but that would have been my ideal situation. But that was a thought. Right now, I got to get the other stuff done before I start building a printer. Because if I'm going to do it, I want to make it look nice, bring a little bit different effect than what we're seeing in printers. Have my own. But
Yeah. Well, what I would do is just like make a rough drawing to start and just have it as like a ongoing project. The rototilter's been going for 2 years, I guess.
kind of
Scaling value for
scaling
what?
value. Oh, your house.
Next keeps going on sale, getting one. Yeah, well, they're trying to put it out. They're trying to.
Oh, have they not shipped even the first sets out yet?
They shipped a few, a very small number. They have to scale up their manufacturing. They sold some of the founder units, and they've gone out.
Okay, the ones that went out when they first released it and they crashed the site. Part of me said, or has been holding back on that because I think they're going to come out with a different version after they find some problems with the first version. I know that they troubleshot it and it doesn't. They've done their due diligence, but we all know when things go out and everybody gets to use it, they're going to find different ways that they could improve it.
Well, the biggest
So,
changes will become when the new machine comes out from Soval, right? Because that'll be the tried and tested one. That'll be because the Bondtech one out is now on the Prusa's, right? So it's like it's a good choice. Like it's available for the Prusa, right? So, but that's going to be the big sale point is when it comes out when a different company manufactures one, and we'll see how it all goes together because Bondtech was they were definitely laying down the line on the tool swappers instead of the head swappers, right? They were definitely saying, oh well, remember support independent creators, support this, that, and the other, right? So, and I agree with them, right? Support the small companies, but again, having that monetization through big companies, that's what gets the items into people's hands, right? Because Soval's got the ability to manufacture much quicker than Bondtech will ever, right? Because Soval's a Chinese company. So
yeah. Now, I've not looked at the Sobel system. I probably should.
the Soval is an IDEX index. It's two heads. It's like they did lower the price, but it's still gonna be quite pricey. It's like a prosumer, so it's around the 1,500 to 2K mark, plus the cost of each tool. But it's 7+1, right? Or
Part
six
of me
plus one?
understands legal threats on that because if you do have to do research and development and ideas, and it does get annoying when somebody just copies you. I mean, I see it with our stuff where there have been creators. Luckily, none of them survived, as far as I was that I noticed that were just copying everybody. But the only thing they ever made was exactly what they saw the week before on things. When I first got in there, and those guys always got on my nerves because they weren't creating anything. They're as close to a copy, even the colors, as the next guy who ever won last week. So on a smaller scale, I understand where they're coming from, protecting their intellectual property. But you know, uh, but I do agree with you. I mean, proprietary gear. How many times has Creality sold a printer and not even supported it past the initial order? You know,
Well,
other companies have done it too. I'm more familiar with Creality doing it. Technically, I guess Elegoo's done it recently, where they promised stuff and sold it, and it didn't come out the same way it was. Um, they're. I think a lot of companies are coming out with stuff claiming it too fast before they have the bugs worked out, and it doesn't work out. Yes, I mean, well, the in China, it's kind of an insult to think you can design something better in their culture. So they're going to copy things. It's just the way it is.
no, that's not true. The same thing happened in the 60s through the 80s in Japan. So a North American company would come out with something, and then they would clone the technology and learn the technology, and that's where it comes from. And China's been doing that for the last 15 years after the pre-industrialization. I didn't say it was a good answer. It's just the truth. It's like if some inventor comes up with something, because typically it's reserved that they don't they don't follow copyright, right? Because there's so many companies in China, so they don't care about copyright. And we've seen that with creators here in the 3D space. But
Technically,
yes,
Americans don't care about copyright and R&D either. Big companies will steal your stuff.
that's why
Um,
stovepiping is such a thing these days. And I'm not a fan of stovepiping, but that's why they do it. It's when was the last time we saw a World's Fair, right? Showing off some of the most advanced technology in the world. When was the last time that happened?
it'll never happen again because all it'll do is people came in their cameras taking a picture.
Yeah.
So, oh, I'm
It's
sure that the fact that he had molds made in China, the factory that he had the molds made in, was probably the one ripping him off. You know, um, that's and that's part of the problem. I mean,
Yes, there. I've said it before, right? And I think the quote's not mine, but it's like it's not the guys who dig the gold that make the money; it's the guys who sell the shovels. Yeah, and if Bontech can't, and that's one of the big things, if you can't protect your IP, and nowadays, you're gonna get copied. Yeah, it might be a direct copy, it might be a variant, it might be an improvement, it might be a failure, but that's what's gonna happen. There's
the
just
usual part of the invention of Bontech can't be patented, and the reason for that is it's already used in other machinery. So realistically, it can be gotten
depends on
around.
patents and
Um,
copyright can be specific, but remember, you just need to be able to show that you're doing it differently. Everyone
yes,
always
that's what
thinks,
I'm
oh,
talking about.
it's a 10% change. No, you just have to be able to show that yeah, you're using the same thing, but it's doing something different. That's what patent trolls are. They go, they see a patent, they see the patent's good or they think it's interesting. They go and they make it do more or less things, and that's enough variance that the copyright won't cover it. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like nowadays because the world is so big and information is so fast that basically you can't even talk about your thing. You just have to go to market. You can't.
I don't
You have to go.
even sometimes want to talk about designs because there are people that are faster at design than us that'll copy if I
Oh
say
yeah,
I'm coming out with something.
yep. That's why you
Um,
can't release photos. You can't 6 months before production. You can't release photos. You basically have to be ready to be go to full production before you can even market your stuff these days. Just because, and because in
I mean, there are
six
some
months,
wonderful designers as far that have no talent. Realistically, they can copy things faster than you can make
that's me. I'm a no talent hack, but I can
them.
copy really well.
Uh, I know of 3D artists that can copy anything and do it quickly, but they won't. That's all they'll do.
Yeah,
Um, and but they're if they had an imagination, they're some of the more talented designers I've seen
yeah, but that's the
because they
thing.
mastered the software.
That's what I keep telling
Um,
everyone. It's like the creativity cannot be taught, cannot be copied, cannot be. It's the same. You cannot even with the robots, right? You cannot. Creativity is creativity. You're kind of stuck. You either have it or you don't, and you just make what you make, right?
oh, I'm saying CAD is a skill polymorph. I'm just saying that some of the more talented people I know in CAD, um, and not all of them. I'm not saying every talented person I've seen in CAD. Don't take this wrong way. But I know 3 or 4 people at least that's in the 3D printing space that are extremely talented in CAD and can copy anything faster than most of us could ever design it. But they won't come up with anything unique because they have no creativity. But they've mastered the program. That I'll give them credit, and that is a skill. Um, you know, and it's a useful skill. But I'm sure it's infuriating to the other designers that they're copying, or the other products. It. I have no idea the whole shebang thing.
It's a reference, like as in doing the whole thing.
Oh, okay,
So like being creative, designing it, producing it, and then manufacturing it. Doing the whole thing is quite hard.
okay, yeah, you're right. I mean, uh, we fight getting our designs on paper. Um, and technically, if it wasn't for the differences in my wife and myself, a lot of our stuff would never have happened because it took both of us to get it to the level it was. I don't think either of us have enough talent in our crossover that it would work. And we're not good at sales or marketing. You know, now I can go to a sale and I can sell our stuff. We do quite well, but I'm not good at doing it on the internet.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
how many times do I have to say it's like, I can't sell nothing. You ask me to sell you a pen, I can't do it. But I make stuff, right? I have that advantage as I make stuff. So
it I mean, essentially, and that's probably why in all of society the inventors never made the money. It was a salesman
Well, yeah, that's
because
the
you can
old
always find
story
a
is the
guy to
same, right?
copy the invention, and then you got to go out and sell it. So that's why the salesman made most of the money over the years.
Well, that's why you hire salesmen, because typically if you come up with a good idea, you're wired a certain way. It's like music. Not everybody can make music, but everyone can enjoy music, right?
Well, I mean, I guess with AI, it's now to where everybody makes some music.
No, because
Not great,
because
but
yeah, because the
uh,
composition. You listen to anyone who knows about music, they'll often complain about the composition or something, right? Like it's there is a skill to making music, and there's a skill to understanding the way music works, right? So
I I think we were already headed there when you could take all of the rock songs and they're like 8 chords,
yeah,
for the
that's why
base of it.
artists are starving. That's right.
Yeah.
Sales,
Um,
marketing, R&D, technician, project management, and accounting. Well, that's what we all do. If you're an independent creator, you're already doing all of that, and it's a lot. Plus whatever real life stuff you have going on. Maker would tell you 8 reasons why you shouldn't buy the pen that he's selling. It's true. I would, I'm, the thing I want you to buy most, more than likely, I'll tell you why you shouldn't buy it. Video editing, yeah. Well, just multimedia production, right?
Make your
And
own
my,
pen.
my that would be my answer. Make your own pen. Like, well, why do you want to buy mine? I'll just show you how to make your own. Like I am not a salesman. I ran 2 years for a year 2 years after college. I ran a store, and it wasn't. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a salesman. It just doesn't do it for me. So it's yeah. Whereas like this multimedia thing, and Bob can agree to it. It's got it's addictive enough and interesting enough to keep doing it, right? So it's like even if I'm bad at streaming, even if I'm bad at design, there's still room and fun to be had. Whereas like knowing how to sell to someone, knowing how to create a good video, knowing how to do video composition, that's a whole different skill set. That's why there's like for example, there's a broadcaster and then staff that work for the broadcaster, right? So there's somebody like the TV show host for your favorite TV show or the actor on that show. They don't know about composition. They don't know about writing. They don't know about video editing. They don't know about marketing. They have that one skill. And everyone says, "Oh, well, multitask, multitask, multitask." I'll be honest with you, when you multitask, you just lower the quality of the primary task.
uh, well, I think it's sales is where they show the income where one person did this much and this is that what money coming into the company. So the companies see that, and when I worked as an engineer, I was costing the company money. That's the way they looked at it
Yeah.
as
All
far as an
maintenance
accounting
costs
point.
money. Yeah. You're
Yes.
always costing money.
So, um, and I remember it more clearly because I was the only guy in a maintenance department turning a profit for the maintenance department. They'd never had that before, so I was a unicorn. The
How
company
are
had
you
never
turning
seen
the
that.
company a product? Or how are you making the money?
I was making the maintenance department money because they were leasing me to the IT department.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, where they
So
farm you out. Yeah,
yes, they were actually farming me to another department, which made my department income.
yeah. Paul, I could not agree more.
Now it was
Oh, I
coming
could
from
not
one
agree
hand to
more.
another. It was stupid. That it took me a long time to understand what the heck he was talking about because it was coming out of another maintenance department to go into.
Dude,
But
I've literally been okay, so I'll go work for a recruiter, right? Like some headhunting company, and then they farm me out and they get a wage. And they get $10 to $15 an hour for just having me there. Then the company I would end up working for. So here's me, go to the headhunter. Then from the headhunter, they put me into a company. It's a short-term contract. So that they would have me fix their factory, do whatever, but they still have a standing contract, which if they break, they have to pay. Oops, sorry, too many hand movements. If they break the contract, they have to pay the headhunter. So in turn, they would then farm me out, which now they're making money off of me,
Mhm.
and then they would then farm, and then I would go fix something else for somebody else. And again, like I'm not good at that whole like finding jobs. Da, da, da. I just do the thing, and I'm pretty good at it. So it's pretty funny. So now I see where you're coming from, where it's like, oh well, yeah, I was in the maintenance department, but now we're gonna use that budget, and we're gonna actually send you out to another department, and that department will pay our budget plus some. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And then I just did you catch this thing from Phil or sorry, Paul?
Yeah. Where they best thing on YouTubers is when they get other people to do their job.
And
Yeah.
that's I've been talking about that for years because like video editing, I'm very weak at. And to have a I've talked about I've said it to people in the real because they don't really understand what we do because we're not mainstream enough just yet, but it's happening, right? It's slowly conventional TV's dying. It's slowly happening. But I said like there's going to be producers like producers, I don't know what you would call it when you're trying to get sponsorships, but there's going to be people that do that. Like a talent agency but for internet content creators, so designs, whatever you're doing, right?
Mhm.
It just hasn't evolved yet. If it has, it's only evolved content managers. Yes, exactly. That's going to be a thing at some point. But I can tell you right now, I make tons of content. Bob makes tons of content. Bob's got Maker Hoss once a week. I stream 5 days a week. I'm still I'm still doing digital design, and you know everyone says, "Oh, get better at this, get better at that." Well, if I do, it's going to take away time from the things that are important, which is being creative, which is coming up with something new, which is able to sit down and render and make something and tell a story about it as I go. But it is without a doubt one of the biggest problems that we have. Like one of the things that I think Bob needs is a PR team. I think the I think the Bob team, dishwasher and built over bot, I think they need someone to push them out because as we know, there's plenty of fidget makers out there, but their stuff is really good, but it just doesn't get seen, and that's the thing.
I think that was a mistake I have made, and I agree. Years ago I met this guy when he first started. He had a small, at the time it was a blog, and he became a YouTube guy named the King of Random. If you've ever
I know
heard of
who that
him,
is. Yep.
well, he's passed away years ago,
Yeah,
but
he killed in a
or,
parasailing.
yeah, paragliding. Oddly, he was a pilot.
Yep.
When I met him, he was a pilot. He was just a blog writer at the time. He never filmed a YouTube video, but he kept saying his secret was he paid video editors and all
Yep.
this other or these other people. And technically, that's probably what we should have done when we first started is do hire like a PR team. But
It's not over yet. It's
uh,
not over yet. And I've told you before, like I understand my value because I spent years in a trade. I know what I'm good at and I know what happens when you start diverting. Um,
we have
yeah, it's
talked about
definitely
the characters. We did try it at first, but believe it or not, those videos when we tried to put a story with them flopped.
yeah.
So we weren't good at that polymorph. We did it originally. We had names for them. We had stories and everything like that. The last one I think we did that to was Nessie or Nessa. We had a little bit of a story for, but most of those models were not doing so well. So we just started pumping out models, and what you guys don't see is the ones that fail, where they look like they don't look quite right when you're done with them, and we don't get a publish because we don't want to put something out that won't sell. I mean, I was honest when I said that the maker chip version of this I don't think will sell, but I think the other version will. It's a cute enough model. It's just such a niche product, and everybody that will want, or most people that want it, have printers. So the file may sell, but I don't know if printing it would sell. Now, other business card holders and other things that you got to market for it, depending on how you look at it. Again,
Oh, I agree with you, Paul. Again, the it's the technical skills that I think a lot of. It's video like someone who can take a live stream of mine, cut it up, put context into it, like this show, for example, here with Bob, right? Bob missed the break, but that's fine. But this show, you could actually cut up segments to and re-upload in shorter format, say a half-hour format when we're on a topic. And that alone, having the skill to do that and merge sections, because we do jump all over the place with conversations because we're reading chat, right? That is a skill. There is no doubt in my mind that that is amazing. Not only that, but finding the other one that's a big one, because all the small content creators complain about, is finding the money to do the stuff. Like for example, doing shows, like doing live shows, like going as a content creator, not as a vendor, because remember I'm Canadian. Coming to the States and selling stuff is a no-go. So going to shows and making nothing off it without having the resources to do it is a struggle without a doubt. And then what do you think about that, Bob? We'll move down to polymorph next, but what do you think about that one?
What, the getting or making money for shows? It's, I mean,
No, 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 no.
all
Okay,
right.
I'll read it to you. I definitely think the concept of video production on demand that goes door to door, filming for multiple YouTubers, is a moneymaker. And not just that, but the production side of it as well. Not just the filming, but the production side of it, sort of the teamwork,
The
networking, things like
question
that. Hold
is
on.
would you have enough local guys to do it, going
Yes.
door to door for
Yes,
it?
you can. Absolutely. The single investment in hardware is a lot for a single content creator. Yeah,
I
and
actually
then
think
and the skills and the hardware to make it very polished is huge as well. So what do you think of that?
I agree, but if it was me, I would change the concept. What I would do is try to get a space and set up sets for people to come and
That's
film.
that's a different animal. We're just talking about general content creators and their ability to grow, right? That's what we're talking about. Because the maker
Yeah.
space is something you and I feel very strongly about, right? Yeah,
I'm
turnkey
actually
services.
I'm saying that if you had a place with sets that content creators could come rent the space and the camera setup, it would work. Not a maker space.
Well, I'll point
A,
something out to you. Here in Vancouver, there's a bunch of boroughs or suburbs or whatever, right? You understand that, yeah?
mhm.
One that's 2 townships over from me has a maker space. It is $900 a month just for the space.
Mhm.
Not counting equipment. I don't even know if you can film there because the audio may be garbage, right? But that alone, just getting a studio would be a thing. I've got a maker space with a pod.
That's
Yeah,
actually
sure,
what
sure.
um, that's what I'm actually trying to. That's why we put the studio on that.
Yep.
We're actually willing to add filming as part of it. So, what's your podcast? Now that's actually an interesting where it's got a podcast studio at the library. That's actually quite
That's a
interesting.
good idea.
What I'm
But
talking about is essentially where I think a moneymaker would be. Uh, a lot of your Instagram people, trying to put this lightly, a lot of things on the internet are cons. So if
yes.
you set up to where you had a fake, for instance, airplane, it looked like a private airplane set, built a little set where it looked like they were sitting in a private airplane, or some backdrops to where it looked like they were at fancy places. There would be a lot of content creators, which I know they're going to be able to do it with AI very soon, but come in and use some of the stuff until AI got better.
But again, that's not about the content creation side. That's just the studio space. What the comment was, and that's what I was commenting on, is what do you think is needed for you, for example, to grow as a content creator? What
I think my thing would be literally people that I need people that know, or we need to hire people that know hashtags better, how
so a
to,
production team, which is what we were
yeah.
talking about. That's exactly
Uh,
that's what his comment was. It wasn't about. So I'll read it again. I definitely think the concept of video production on demand that goes door to door, which it doesn't have to be door to door. It could be, send them something or whatever, right? For multiple YouTubers is a moneymaker. The investment in hardware is a lot for a single content creator, and the skills, the hardware make it look more polished as well. Turnkey type services. That's the comment. What do you think of that? So that would be a production, like a producer, a someone who wrangles sponsorship or marketing, someone who is giving content suggestions, right? Because like as a content creator, you don't have to listen to nobody. You do what you want to do. For example, when I'm bored, I play video games, or if I'm not feeling creative, I play video games to try and not miss a day. But yeah, like for example, how would you improve the Maker Studio show that we're on currently?
I actually think the best way to improve is literally is that type of content. Somebody who knows or producers who know hashtags and can figure out how that people that are uh, and key to me, which I need to improve on, is I need to be more PC to get
No,
buddy with the
no,
company.
listen here.
But
That's what you produce as
so
content will always find a spot. Don't ever worry. You are very PC because you don't dislike anyone, you don't hate anyone, you just don't like phonies. That's fine. I I've been soft this year. We're gonna see how good my analytics are this year versus last year. And last year I was struggling in the real, like I was really hurting. So we'll see come January because that's when my analytics will finally wash out and tell me what I've got. Go from there. Podcast studios are okay, but as a maker, it's us shouting and making fun of each other is in a library would probably not go over very well. Here's another good one from Paul. Yeah, so yeah, see, even the chat is agreeing. Social media managers, video editing, right? Because you are the talent. You, Bob and Sandy, are what bring people to the things that you make. Your opinions, you being you, is what people are interested in. Remember how we were talking about how some people just, no matter what they do, can never be creative? Remember we were talking about that?
yeah,
That's
that's
that's the difference between you and them. You are creative. You are interesting. That's what draws people to you, right?
um, I I think that our weak point is literally social media. So I do agree with you.
So just
That's
remember,
always been our weak points.
before you start saying things like, "Oh, I've got to change the way I talk and stuff," there are people who produce hate on the internet that make millions of dollars, and they produce hate, and they're ugly people, and there's no compromise in their heart. They believe what they believe. There's nothing you can do about it.
I
Never
think
worry
what
about
I
that.
probably where I say I should calm myself down a little bit is the sexist jokes I make to my wife.
No, no, because there are
Um,
plenty of people in this world that get those jokes. And your missus
um,
has never come in and slapped the bejeez out of you with a
she
sand or
won't.
something, right? She's never done
Uh,
that. But
well,
that's
she
what I'm saying.
won't because they're. But there are people that actually believe the things that I'm
Yeah, but
saying,
you
not
listen.
that. You know.
You can't fix stupid, and you can't cure the c word. What do you
Uh,
you as an engineer should know better than this, better than anyone. Can you make a machine idiot proof?
how many bits to see what? Sandy slapped me.
Slap the holy crap out of you.
Uh, you
Remember,
know, if you, she may take an auction. What? How many? Sandy,
100
you get
bucks.
the earbuds in? She's ignoring me. She's got her earbuds in. She can't hear me.
Go get her.
So
Go get her. I'll read to you
the
chat because you
same.
got ears on. Yeah, yeah. So keep listening because I'm reading to you. Having the content creators come to the studio and make the creator have you do a cart full of crap of work back and forth, door-to-door service lets people demonstration the creation of the exactly. Remember, like for me, I brought half a suitcase of content with me to Midwest. As for the freaking airplane videos, can't stand them. Yep, editing is my downfall. I have
I thought
tons of
somebody else
cameras,
would kick
lights, and
you.
stuff.
What?
So somebody else would kick you.
Okay. Yeah, I know you'll do that. Apparently, she cannot be bought to smack me. So
There we go. See, that's love. I'm just catching up. Editing is my downfall. I have a ton of yeah. Editing is my weakness. I used to make videos when I had a very active Patreon and YouTube channel, and they took so much time and so much effort. They would take me 3 days to make a video. Well, I live stream 5 days a week, so where am I gonna get that third day, right? There's a key to events is free, being buddy buddy with a company and being sponsored. Yes, that is the goal, is to get companies to bring me in, talk about their machines, talk about their filament, talk about design. The same goes for Bob and Sandy. They should, things like comping the ticket, giving us like either travel or per diem, things like that would really help. Streaming multiple across multiple platforms is very hard. Patreon is actually closing right now. There's big changes happening in Patreon if you don't know. Hate sells it, but it's wrong. I agree, Howdy. We would never do that. Being frustrated or having drama across the streaming or YouTube scene is good for all content creators. It's always been, it always will be. So you can never tell how much of that is real. How much to see Sandy slap Bob? That's never going to happen. Slap FX would be cool. Yeah, we can make that happen. Idiot proof doesn't exist. And the reason why idiot doesn't exist, and Bob missed the joke, but if you make something idiot proof, they'll just make a better idiot. Imagine standing up and your chair has Hustler on it. What a pimp. What? Oh yeah, he is a pimp.
Yeah, I had a Hustler franchise, believe it or not. So that's, yeah. Make that what you will. Probably not the Hustler you're thinking of.
But we are seeing, just to stay on point about this, is we are seeing a solid decline across many YouTube channels, many Twitch streams, and general cable for placation. So like Bob was saying, oh, well, people think I'm sexist, but Bob isn't sexist. He loves his wife dearly. His wife loves him dearly. We're starting to see, I think it happened in the 60s because it was in the 50s. Everything was very monetized, very clean cut. And then this trend started. It grew through the 60s, and through the 80s. And then it came to that polished look. It's the ebb and flow of it. It's very standard. Yeah.
I'm actually shocked at how many women that are very strong feminists and very independent truly will support me. That in a lot of ways it's shocking because I do make sexist jokes to the wife. That's not.
I have zero opinions on this subject. Please continue.
But there are a lot of women that you would think would not support me that do. To be fair, and even a few very rapidly support me. I think, and I love their support. One of my best friends online, you would not have expect. Most people would probably not expect. So that she would be one of my supporters. So, I mean, most people probably would not expect Cruising Girl to be primarily to be very supportive of me, and she is, and it's mainly because she knows that I'm not.
Because you're not sexist. Because you're not. Because you want to play this game, but you're not. You love your wife dearly, and you appreciate your wife, and you don't talk down to her. You don't talk poorly about her. Yes, it is a gag. It is old school. Complaining about your old lady is a national pastime, and having your old lady
never hear
complain
me
about
call
you.
her old lady because she is younger than me.
But you know my meaning, sir.
Yeah.
You know my meaning.
Teasing her is a game. It is.
I've repeatedly said it myself. What's the point of having a wife if you can't drive her nuts?
Luckily, it wasn't a very far trip, so
it's the length of the road doesn't matter. It's just that the road exists.
It's more of a walking path, not even a road. A few steps.
Yeah.
Now that one I will never say. That one actually to me is because that actually acts like you would hit your wife. So that one I would never say on one. I'm not claiming you would, by the way.
Just a throwback. Yep.
Yeah, that's a throwback. I mean, but yeah, I wouldn't. That's something I would never joke about is harming her for legitimate reasons. But yeah, I think that comes from the fact that she's got 4 older brothers. So
I think it comes from the fact that you adore your wife. That's what I think.
We also have an unconventional lifestyle. We've not been apart. Murph was hard on me for just not being with her 24 hours a day because very few people in my age bracket can get up every morning and go sit in an office with their wife. We've moved out here because of air conditioning that small office, but her desk is as far as it gets away from me, and it's maybe 15 feet because of where she happens to be sitting. So, and she would have heard me holler if she had put earbuds in. Oh no, no,
Correct.
no. That's marriage is not standing in their way in the kitchen. Not in my case. I'm only allowed at the door. I'm not even allowed to enter. Yeah, outside knife range on the kitchen part. I am not allowed to use the stove or cook. That's banned. But yeah, you can do that one, Paulie. Never understood the kitchen thing. Uh, that one, polymorph. I mean, hell, I might as well answer it. We live in a garage, so out of all of the space for the kitchen is one of the smallest rooms. In fact, our master bathroom is larger than our kitchen. So she claimed when she moved here that the kitchen was hers, and I had to stay out of it because everything else was mine, other than the kitchen.
Have you guys never heard of sewing rooms?
We didn't have that at the time. We
But
are having
my
sewing, but yeah.
grandma, and my grandma always had her own sewing room. And
Uh,
if depending on where you grew up and where you're from, for a wife to take care of a husband is not necessarily a wifely duty, but a level of empowerment. Depends
yeah,
on where
she
you're
could
from.
poison my food if she wanted to, right?
She also like can make sure that you eat well. She can also make sure that she takes care of you, which may make her feel empowered. Again, this I got to be careful because I don't want to talk about this too much. I gotta so you can continue. I have to stop weighing in. Yeah, so continue. Tell us about your lovely wife.
uh, hardly Yukon. I actually enjoyed cooking until Sandy. I have not been able to cook since. Actually, I have a few times at my mother's. I can cook for her, but that's yeah. But yeah, she. I think it's a thing where she feels like she contributed and took care of me. So that's something that she enjoys. Um, in a lot of ways, polymorph, I would agree that yeah, I don't like being told that I can't go in a place. But when you have a relationship where you're able to, or you're around each other 24/7, and so much of the building was mine because she managed a beachfront resort when we got together. She was managing a manager of a hotel on the an oceanfront hotel. So she was managing a beachfront resort, and I moved her into a mechanic shop in the center of the country when we moved here. So her getting the kitchen was a fair trade, and it's just never changed. So that's where that happened. I've always said that if I stop working on chemicals, where I get the refrigerator or stove greasy when I walk in there, or chemicals that she doesn't want in the kitchen, that may change. She says otherwise. We'll see how that works out. But as she gains more space, that's we would consider our feminine domain or whatever leans that way for her crafts. But she's gotten some, but that she can kick me out of or keep to herself, then I would say the kitchen's going to open up more. We'll see. I do have my own oven for powder coating. So I guess I do have my own oven. But yeah, that's I think it's as much a gag as anything else anymore for her. She enjoys annoying me and she enjoys telling me I can't go someplace. Now remember, the built over bought name was actually from Sandy. She bought that, or she started that company to say she owns Bob. That's that, or the built over bought thing is hers. Yes, I'm using it, but the reason that's named Bob is so she can claim she owns Bob. Is a full on statement. So, yeah, um, that's it goes back and forth. But yeah, we'll probably add the kitchen into the makerspace at some point, which means I'll be able to use it. That is on the end goal. We want to have where people can come in, have birthday parties, cakes, and a makerspace event at some point. So the stove will move out into a public space at some point, and other people will be allowed to use it. Show mini kitchen over there. That may be what it is. Uh, the rule of thumb is if she's not going to cook for me, I can cook for myself. So I'm not, I guess, not totally banned from it. But if I get hungry, I've always gave her the option of cooking first, and then uh, if I'm hungry enough, I'll go fix it. But I've given her the respect of talking to her before I go into a room she would prefer me not going into. However, the last couple months when I've been at my parents' house, I cook whenever I dang well please, and I've been cooking for them. I was cooking for them, so I can still cook. In fact, I made part of Thanksgiving's meal last year and Christmas's meal, so and even cooked last week for my mother, so I can still cook. Just not my own kitchen, and I cooked while she was gone. I know the rule of thumb basically. I do remember that, and I'm not. I'm not. I wouldn't be brave enough, even if that was still law. Her brothers are bigger than me. Uh, my wife's stuff is not healthy. This is my waist is. I was 120 pounds when I met her, so I have not gone hungry since my wife came around. But, uh, yeah, following my dating advice will get you in trouble. I will agree to that. Other than the fact that if you ever have a woman pay for the first date, that's somebody to pay attention to. That is the best advice I will give you. Because when she thought that the date was important enough to pay for, that's something to pay attention to. I don't think it's technically Viking. I'll say something that I disagree. It's actually misogyny, and that's the point of it. If we blame everything on misogyny, then it's all men's fault, and nobody's going to fix anything. Because then it's all men, and it's all men's fault. So anytime it's just you can blame it on the other person, it's a you won't fix it. So but that's my opinion. I mean, the entire term of misogyny and misandry and all that crap is just like weaponized incompetence. All of that is a farce that makes us fight each other and makes everybody unhappy. Just treat your partner with some dignity and lighten up. Enjoy life. It's too short.
So there's also a so the rule of thumb that you guys are referencing, I've always known it as a different thing. The rule of thumb was typically used as a comparison of the width of the thumb. It was not necessarily for a switch, but I'm just checking research right now just to double check.
We
Yeah, it was it
rewrite
was
history
it
to be
was
whatever we want.
well, it was just I'm pretty sure it was a carpenter thing. I understand the etymology of the switch, but yeah, so it apparently it was even a rumor. So But rule of thumb nowadays is see, because old things can have new meanings, right? It's broadly accurate guide or principle based on experience, practice, or rather than a theory. That's words change, things change over time. But when we dig to that, right? The weather. Today wasn't too bad. It was 30. Yeah, it was 30 all day. But that's what the humidity is, about 25. It's not bad. It's the problem is here in Vancouver is like when it gets really hot, the air gets really thick. So it affects the prints, it affects everything. That's why I had to take a nap because I was on a show this morning. So I had my own show and I'm now here. But between my show and this, I had to lay down because I was just exhausted. And yes, I agree with you, Polymorph. Dating is rough. Let me tell you. So
I would not want to date by, yeah, I mean, it, that would be miserable. I don't think that, I think I hit the lottery. So with the, and luckily she
I
can't hear me.
the only thing I can say about that is the women that I have been with have always been wonderful. Be it be how it ends or whatever, that's not a thing. I've always really loved the women I've been with, and they've always been really wonderful. Um, so that's what I can say.
I will agree that we've got so much as far as filters and everything else to where, you know,
If we're
and
gonna
it's
talk
become a
dating,
game.
I cannot express about marriage. I cannot express about a wife, and the reason why is I don't have either. Right? I cannot talk about that. I can say that from what I know of you and what I know of you and your wife, your wife is very happy to be your wife and very much loves taking care of you, or else she wouldn't do the things she do. If you guys want to talk dating, I'm happy to. We could do what are we now? Maker Studio. It's not Maker House anymore. Maker Studio.
Yeah.
Advice with Maker Millwright and Uncle Bob. We could do that. It's been 85 here. Felt like yeah. Well, we had a like a cool spurt there where it dropped down to 20. It was actually really nice, like 20, 21. Even with humidity, it was like 23, which was really nice. But August and September is when it gets really hot here in British Columbia. And I haven't been paying attention to the fires, so I don't know. But yeah, if you want to talk dating, I have opinions on that I don't mind sharing. That's a different story. But I will never comment on other than I know that your wife loves you very much so. Oh, that's a see, fine. There we go. Find someone who tolerates you like Sandy tolerates Bob. That's a T-shirt. That I want on a T-shirt.
That is true. Um, honestly, I can give the best dating advice I've ever heard to anybody. Well, two pieces of advice. One is find a woman that thinks you're a prize, and number two, find somebody that you believe is at least your equal.
Mhm.
So those are the two pieces of advice I wish I'd followed when I was younger. Because when I finally got that through my head, that's when I found somebody that I could spend a lifetime with. So, you know, husband and wife is something we call each other. That's the government never should have been involved in that. That if you've been with the same woman for 10 years, you're married. So
I agree, polymorph. I agree.
well, see, she is your equal then, Tech Keeper. She's crazy, you're crazy,
Paul,
it all
thank you for
works.
all the awesome content, or thank you for all the awesome comments today and bringing up things that are interesting. We really appreciate you there, Mr. Paul.
Welcome in, Paul, and thank you for joining. Hope you have a good night with the family. I mean, so your Tech Keeper saying the same thing. Find your equal, somebody as crazy as you. So
I I don't know how to phrase this. I have very big goals, lofty ideas, big goals, and I'm doing everything I can. I also work a lot. Like what you guys see for the stream is not nearly as much time as I put into all this. Um, and it would be the same if I was working my normal career. I used to work three jobs. That's hard for people. So,
Uh,
and when it comes to dating, I can just tell you right now, I have dated some very very lovely and beautiful women. But there's always a wrinkle in the cloth, as they say. So sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I think the world of all of my ex girlfriends. The modern dating, on the other hand, is very unique. I think I agree with polymorph the most. Is that there's a lot of filters, there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of weird expectations. So, like, I'm pretty sure what I'm considering traveling the world is different than what most other people consider traveling the world. Bob is a keeper, absolutely.
uh, I do think I'm probably a little different in person. I'm probably a little bit more laid back, I think, in person. But again, that's my what I've always assumed based upon people that have met me in person, but not
See, I'm a
many here.
difficult man. I'm not nice like you, Bob. I'm a difficult man. I'm not easy peasy. Beardy.
Welcome in, Beardy. I saw that lamp of yours. That is a gorgeous design. That thing
Excellent
is
work. Yeah, excellent, excellent work.
that is definitely a awesome design. I see Beardy picked his wife up just by the impressive beard. I think that's my
It was
going
the
theory.
violina and the singing
Huh?
that won her over, guaranteed. I put money on it.
I think it was just the beard. I mean, the beard is enough. Uh,
I think polymorph. I think the expectations are too high. In I love
I
lamp.
think the problem with most people have with dating is they date who they want to sleep with and not who they want to spend time with. I think that's 90% of the problems I see in relationships.
I definitely have not done that. That is definitely not in my wheelhouse. So I wouldn't be able to say.
Um,
Ugh.
I've seen
What
the
I would
type
say
polymorph.
when it comes to dating, there's a huge division right now because there's a lot of female dating advice, a lot of male dating advice, but neither side typically listens to the other, or one side might be delusional about one thing or the other because oh, it's a big wide world out there, but the world is only as big as you can let it be, right? I think the thing is you can only know like 100 people. There's some math about that, but you know the world, there's these wonderful stories where people meet across the internet, and I've had that experience, and it's wonderful and it's powerful, but there's a lot of strings and difficulties involved in it for sure.
I didn't like dating when I did it, so I definitely don't envy anybody that's single. I mean, but I think I fell in the same trap. I think most people do. Is I dated who I wanted to spend time with in the bedroom, and not who I wanted to spend time with outside of it. I think that was
See,
always an issue.
that's never been mine. That's never been mine. That's not how I see the world. So
I well, I think you or what I did was I tried to fit into what she wanted instead of actually again finding what I wanted. A partner. I
say
tried to
again.
be what the partner wanted. I think I tried to be what the person I wanted to be with wanted instead of what I wanted.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem nowadays. Changing yourself to fit someone else. I don't do that. I agree, polymorph. I agree. I have
Uh,
some strange rules that I do just to see if that's true or not.
I, I said I fully get it. I mean, that's I think most guys go through that sadly.
Well, and I will like one of the things that I always think is funny because like I think everyone should be able to cook for themselves. Like being able to clean is one thing, but being able to cook for yourself and someone else is a very important skill, and I think that's very much lacking both on the male and female side of things. But if you live alone, then having that skill, like Bob used to live alone. Bob can cook. He's quite a good cook. Dating advice with Uncle Bob and Maker Millwright. Um, I if you have your own home, you should be able to take care of yourself. You shouldn't need a maid. You can have one if you can afford one, of course, but you should be able to do these things for yourself. That's a big skill. And cooking is a taboo subject nowadays. So I
And
do. It is something I strongly believe in, right? So
you could always join us, shenanigans.
yeah, Carrot can one less dating advice, more complaining about it. Yes, I am. I will be honest. I am censoring my opinions currently. I said I was doing that this year. Come back and see me in January, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if the analytics are better this year. But I am definitely finding a more common ground, gentler side of my opinions.
I mean, I will say one thing. Yeah, I put on a lot of weight since I had somebody else deciding some of my foods, but that's also because the food improved. So uh, I cooked for subsistence. She cooks good meals. There's a little difference. Uh, my weight increased quite a bit when the food started tasting good instead of just beans and rice. Because that's what I'll eat if I'm given choice. In fact, while she was gone, it was a lot of ramen noodles or 99-cent meals that set in front of me. That's what I'll eat because it's cheap and easy, and yeah, food is a. I don't care unless I'm eating with her that it's a nice meal and it's pleasurable as much. So, see, that's too fancy for me. Uh, that requires working out, Beardy. But I mean, that's why you're keeping healthy food in the kitchen. Come on now. We know both, or we all know you're keeping plenty of junk food shenanigans for your kid. Uh, I mean, yeah, but isn't it worth it, Beardy? I don't have kids, but I think the Doritos Maker Chip proves that he likes the junk food too. Polymorph, but uh,
Taco City over here. I need to wash my bill plate.
you're not a holiday person. I would have actually figured
Oh,
you
I
would
hate
love holidays,
holidays.
Beardy. Uh,
I'm not a I'm not a vacation guy either.
my my top vacation I've actually had, even though with the power outages, was Murph.
That wasn't a vacation.
That was huh?
That wasn't a vacation.
Close to me.
Eh.
I mean, it was a pleasurable trip. I know I was meeting people that I may have as far as get members from or whatever, but I mean,
Meeting people and having a pleasurable trip, it does not necessarily mean it's a vacation.
that's as close as I get. So, I mean, it's not like I'm going to go to the ocean to go swim or sit down at a campground that much. I would go camping if I was going to an event like that. That's the only way I'm going camping. I mean, that's just, or to a pool or, you know, so that's the closest you're going to get me is a vacation. So I consider it a vacation. I never did the fast food thing. I missed out on that one, Beardy. I think it was probably a good thing because I've seen enough customer service. Uh, I thought it was vacation. Literally, I mean, I was sharing a place with Tech Cheaper and Shenanigans. I mean, how many people would consider that a vacation? You know, last night was with Maker and let's see, was it Whoa, Maker, you, or who else was there? A Phantom, and
Jake.
there's four of them. No, Jake left.
Yeah.
So I think
There's
it was
just four of
wasn't
us. There's just four of us.
Yeah. So yeah, Jake left that night earlier. So yeah, it was. Everybody said bless you, Sandy. You are blessed with me, right?
What?
Everybody said bless you. I said you're already blessed with me, right?
That has some cheese to it.
Yeah, we had a camp. We didn't have a fire until the last night when Bob came by. I was so tired, man.
What was
So
it?
tired.
Friday night or Saturday night? We had a fire.
I was
And
just
yeah,
so tired.
Out of all of us, who would have been the most excited to light a fire? Between me, Shenanigans, and Tech Cheaper.
Oh, clearly Tech Cheaper.
I actually would have guessed Shenanigans myself. Maybe me.
No, because Shenanigans wants to launch something with fire. He doesn't care about fire. He just wants to be able to put something in a low orbit.
It was a small fire for me. Barely counted as a fire. I mean, normally when I light a fire, it's at least 10 foot wide. But, you know, it's still a start. Yeah, but you were excited about the fire, Tech Cheaper. And you were using sugar as a flammable object. So
Sugar is
you
a
knew
good
more
accelerant.
about fire than us. No, it was typically Tech Cheaper.
I know.
Hmm.
It's always the quiet ones. It's always the quiet ones.
I learned not to trust restaurants while working at a casino because they had like 4 restaurants on the place, and yeah, you don't piss off the restaurant staff. I learned that even without working at one. Go a PV blaster. I didn't see the PV blaster. I did see the sugar. We when I sold one of our lines, we worked with a fireworks distributor. So while I was doing that, we would have fireworks displays, but that gets you in trouble financially. You can easily blow up or launch $1,000 into the air one night. And if you want to have a family, you can't afford that. Yeah, we don't want to be teaching them for using the propellant for that. I mean, and to be fair, he's probably seen rocket engines, so PV blaster is not the worst flammable thing he's seen.
I've never even heard of PV blaster.
It's a penetrant. It's basically a penetrating oil.
Ah.
You've probably seen it under different names, but just a brand. Yeah, that's where we had that problem at the other space when we were lighting a fire for. Was it Whoa that finally got lit, or you?
It's me. Come on now. Whoa talks. I was lazy and didn't really want to put the effort in. So I gave it to another option for other people to do it. Nobody else could do it, so then I did it and it was fine. It's what you get for being lazy.
I did not light the fire at either location, so I'm impressed with myself.
I did it with some cardboard and a lighter with wet wood. But considering who was in our party for that event and their experience in the real world, the fact that they couldn't do it and Mr. Nobody myself got it done, it's pretty funny actually.
Uh-huh. I don't think military experience leads itself to campfires.
I
But I
do.
could be wrong.
It's a basic survival skill. What I learned, like how I learned to do it in Scouts. That's how I learned how to like everything. It comes from Scouts Canada.
Now I would be impressed if you used a didn't use a lighter. Then I would have gave it to you.
If I had a knife and flint, I could have done it. I've done it lots before.
No, that's just the Marines, Joe Chief. They need the crayons, and they do light fires. I have seen that. So
Listen, they like to give crayons to millwrights too. Come on now.
so is that how you draw your plans up?
Yes, sir.
Or is that the
Yes, sir.
engineer?
No, the engineers like all the fancy pens, and then we'll take a crayon, make it work. All us knuckle draggers are alike.
You're the type that all torque specs should be in Ugga-Duggos, and
It's either less than one Ugga Dugga or more than one Ugga Dugga. It's very straightforward.
I wonder what the newer techs are within these impacts where you can actually set the torque within a little bit of a range. I mean, has that changed the millwright industry or not?
Well, what are you talking like stress bars or what are you talking? Because like a stress bar on an impact gun will limit your load, right? So there's that. Um, there's always torque wrenches and they always have to be calibrated once a year. Or are you talking about like multi-step impacts?
I'm talking about actually settable impacts where you can go in there and you can set the torque range on it.
Yeah, that's been a thing for years. Like they're like on an impact, like an air impact, a pneumatic impact, it has a set of ranges. Now they've tightened those ranges down, right? But like on hydraulic impacts, that's always been a thing. They just are super heavy and hard to use. But yeah, like they've gotten much better on the air. The electrics, they're still within a band, right? So it's like you always under torque and then you come up to spec with your torque wrench. But like
Yeah, I mean,
cheater bars and big wrenches, like that's always been a thing.
torque sticks I've had for years. You run a torque stick below where you're supposed to torque it to, and then you actually go back with a torque wrench and you bring it up to the spec.
Correct. That's how you always do it. That's how you've always done it. Yeah.
But I've had those for shoot. My torque sticks are even 20 years old.
Yeah. So no.
I know you're supposed to throw them away.
Yeah, they're no good anymore.
But they'll still under torque. They'll be good enough to do what I'm using them for. And that's
because they get miscalibrated, especially if you drop them, because it changes the dynamic of the internal shaft. Yeah, 1-inch impacts. Yeah, I love being a good 1-inch.
The weird thing is, out of every technician I ever saw using them, except for rare occasion, and I was one of the rare occasions, they would always take a wrench and start playing music on the torque sticks.
Good way to ruin a tool. It's like why you never drop it's why you never drop a torque wrench, no matter the.
You drop a torque wrench, it's done.
Yeah.
It's got to be calibrated instantly.
Same with calipers. You drop a set of calipers or a set of mics, a mic, you're done. It's garbage.
But
especially micrometers, because if you drop a micrometer, you create deflection in the hoop, and then then the measuring distance is changed. And vernier calipers, you drop them, same thing.
Although sadly, they've probably been dropped a few times before you ever get them anymore because they come across.
Yeah, but if they're dropped in a box, it's different if they're dropped on a hard surface, right? I do like the scope and scale of today's show, though. I will point out, we've been through content creation and the future of content creation, dating advice with Uncle Bob, and now we're into mechanical advice with Uncle Bob. I like it. I like the scale here today. It's very diverse. I like it a lot.
I mean, I can give all kinds of bad advice on working on stuff. I worked on stuff all my life. I've been working in a shop since I was probably 13 or 14 years old.
That's fair.
I've got tools that, in fact, I even have a couple neat ones that I gotta do videos on. I think I took them all outside, but I got a brass gasket cutter. I'm going to compare it to my laser in a video soon. Um, I got it because it's beautiful. It's a big old piece of brass to cut perfect circles out of gasket material. Now, would I have used it? No, I probably would have put a nail in there in the bench, tied it, a exacto blade knife around it, and just drew a circle or pin. But whatever floats the boat of this thing. It's fancy, it's pretty. So we're going to cut a gasket with it and then cut a laser at some point and start talking
What is this a
about.
brass? Sorry, I missed it. Is this a brass jig? Is this what you're talking about? Brass
It's an
jigging or
actual
what?
gasket cutter. Here, let me grab it real quick.
Because there's a similar tool that you use to draw chalk and you draw circles with it. There's also a tool that's typically made out of brass that you can put a torch tip on and cut a perfect circle with it. And then there's trolleys, which is like where it presets the height for your torch and supports the torch. So once you start cutting, the line is super uniform. And I'm talking to myself. Hello, Mr. Poole. You hadn't heard the term Ugga Uggas until like 2 years ago. You have definitely not been in any mechanic shops. Yeah, I do like a good 1 inch impact. Although, like, what's the electric? The electrics are at like 1150. They're 3/4 inch. No, they might even, yeah, they're 3/4. No, they might be 1/2 inch. They might be a 1/2 inch drive. Well, maybe 3/4. But like 1150 reverse, 9 something, 999 forward or something. If you guys are ever wondering why a torque wrench, or sorry, why an impact always has more power in reverse than forward, it's so that you can get the bolt off. So you can't over tighten the bolt. But if you're using counterclockwise, repaired stuff
When
as
you
they
weren't
show.
talking to
Yeah.
yourself, I could hear you,
Oh, okay.
but I couldn't respond to the mic. This is
Didn't need
what I'm
torque wrenches
talking
yet.
about. This is it has a razor blade attached on this end, especially razor blade.
Can
Because
you
they don't
assemble
look
it so I can
normal.
see what it looks like? Because right now it's just a brass block.
That's basically what it unfortunately.
Yeah, well, like everything should have a torque spec. That's like that's millwriting 101 and machinist 101 is knowing torque specs. But that's not. Is that a big deal? No. And yeah, get it tight, right? Without taking the cap off. That's the thing. And then you go beyond that, right? But it's big time
I
mechanic
don't have
stuff.
a
Like,
good enough screwdriver to get it. Essentially, this blade here,
yes.
which is a modified razor blade,
Well,
essentially
it looks like
bolts
one of
in the.
these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, a little again,
Single sided,
a little different.
single sided
Yeah,
razor.
it bolts into the end here, and
Yep.
then you put a pin.
Hey, Cola. Yep.
In this where you can set it, measure a distance for a circle. Is it that useful a tool?
I
No,
don't think I've ever
but
seen something like that before.
I haven't either, especially anything this fancy.
Well, because typically what it is a base, like the with torch cutting, like a circle cutting jig. It's like a base that has a rod that comes up, and there's a second rod that goes through it. You mount to it, and you set your distance. I don't think I've ever seen any, even with gasket cutters. But normally, like we do punch gasket, right? Use a punch or use a something like that.
Now this is older than
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. That's cool.
called an Allpax gasket cutter.
Yeah. Typically, there's a base, but I've never seen that before. That's cool.
Uh, I don't think many people are going to see anything quite like this because it's probably not been made in 100 years. This is an antique when my father got it, and it's even obviously older now. But he inherited it from another guy that was a mechanic before he was born. So But this
So
allows you
it
to make
sits on the
a
pin.
gasket can. Mhm.
It sits, so the pin's down, and then there's a blade where that nub is on the brass fitting, and then you just turn it. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that before. Because the only ones I've ever seen are like torch cutting jigs.
Obviously, it does not have metric on it because this is an American tool, probably. Again,
Yeah,
does not
but
have a year on it.
American Tool built next or last week would still not have metric on it, even though since '82 you guys are supposed to be doing metric.
Yeah, well, you're correct. It may not, but yeah, it.
That's a nice looking piece
I
of
don't
artwork.
know. It once it's cleaned up, this is going to be beautiful.
It's beautiful the way it
Sitting in
is
my
now.
bench.
Hey Tulsa.
So it also is from a grandfather-like figure.
A mentor? Yeah.
Where it came from. This was one of my father's mentors that gave it to him when I was a child. The guy was old enough to have been his dad that we got it from, and I guess he inherited it before that, for what we understand. I Nobody's around to ask anymore to get.
Have you ever
much history about it.
have you ever like searched for the manufacturer?
I have
I've
not.
never seen anything like that.
It's called an all-packs gasket cutter.
Hold on.
Let's see. Let's actually look it up.
They may still make it.
It looks like they do.
They do. They still make one. At least a version of it.
They actually still make parts for it.
Yeah, they still make a version of it. It's still in the brass, although I don't know if that's brass. I have to look at it. I have never seen that before. That is really, which means you can get parts for it, Bob. Instead of having
It's
to make
actually
parts
this
for it.
thing's full of parts.
Is it?
Yeah, I've got tons of the little needles. I've got tons of the blades for it.
It's also American made. Which is cool.
I've got all the little pieces, the extra adapters for it. But this
I'll
thing
be
is,
honest, I've never seen that before.
I don't see its use compared to other tools.
It's a precision gasket cutter. That's all it is. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But we were going to do some videos because it's what I was shown as a kid how to do it, and
Allpacks, the company, makes some really nice looking tools. I'm on their website right now. That's really cool.
nope.
Yeah, they specialize in gaskets. That's what they do. And they make some beautiful equipment.
And they've been around for years because that thing, I know it's older than I am, but
yeah, I don't know.
we understand it's. I mean, this is the box.
So they were founded in 1928. And they were bought. So they even supplied equipment for Admiral Richard Byrd's Antarctic excursion, and that was in World War II. Over the time, shifted focus from to gasket materials, leading to the formation of Allpacks gasket cutter production in 1990, specializing in innovative gasket cutting tools. Acquired by Guard Air Corporation in '99, Allpacks gasket cutters became produced in Chicopee, Massachusetts. Today, Allpacks is the world's largest manufacturer of gasket cutters, punches, and related accessories for fabrication for custom flanges. Yeah, I would say it's old, Bob. 1928. Yeah, I would say that's old.
I don't know if this is a 1928 version, but yeah, because those guys are still making the same thing. But
it even has like where you can find the part numbers. You can get parts for it. That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, punch hole
I
sets.
just brought that home like a week ago, and because I've always wanted to do a video with it and play with the antique tools because the stuff I used when I was a child.
Did you find their website?
Yeah,
Did you see their
I did
rotary
actually look
style
up.
gasket cutters?
I did not look at. I looked at. They had one that was not far off from this one.
No, there's one almost identical
So
to that. It might be more simplified because of the future, because of modern days. But I'm just looking at it. It's like, yeah, heavy duty standard gasket cutter, and it's very very similar to the one you have in your hands. Yeah. So that one could be
they,
from as far back as 28 because it is American made. Yeah, gauge bar on it.
in
Yeah, that's cool, man. That is really cool.
fact, it's
Piece
the
of
picture
Americana.
that they have on the front of the site. So I bet that was probably what they started with.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a gasket maker, Tulsa Skin. That's uh, I I want to make the gasket for the uh, a paint shaker with it, and some of the mills. I thought it'd be neat to actually cut it with this instead of, or some of the gaskets with that instead of the laser, just because
If
some of the
I were
antique machines.
you, when you're about to do that video, reach out to them. Send them an email.
Um,
That's what I would
but
do.
because I'd like to do some gaskets for some of those machines, and it'd be in some ways because I have it. I'll do the gasket in the old way, or one of the gaskets in the old way, one of the gaskets in the new way, uh, and show the difference as we're rebuilding the machine
Well,
on a
there's
few of the
there's
machines.
definitely something really beautiful about classic tooling. It's just slower. That's it. That's the only difference.
Yeah, I mean, it'll do the same job.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's not like the laser is going to do a better job. It's just going to do a faster job
Yeah. That's
and
it.
be easier.
Well, I don't know if it's easier
Uh,
because that one you just measure it out, turn it in a circle, you've got your gasket. The laser, you got to put the sheet in, do your measurements, offset your calibrate your laser, offset it, run your G code or run your whatever you're running. I don't know what Lightburn runs on, and then go back to it. Yeah, sure, it'd take a few minutes for it to just laser beep, but you still have to put all that information in. With that, you could just take some cardboard, do a hammer block, or sorry, a hammer gasket, see your sizing, and then you're good to go.
well, I mean, you can do it more. You can do a cleaner, more advanced one because the hammering you always get a little bit of rough edging
No,
around
I
it.
that's
But
you just hammer the gasket for placement. So if you don't want to measure, right, you just have a blank and then you copy your blank and then do that. But that tool, what you have there, is super fast. As long as you have a cutting board underneath and the blade is sharp, you just plug it in, give it a spin, it'll cut your path. It depending on the thickness, of course, you might have to work it. But that's awesome, dude. That's like Americana history. Remember, I love old tools. Like one of
you're
the things up behind me is I think a 1920s um, pipe wrench, small like quarter-inch pipe wrench or something, half-inch pipe wrench. It's not a big deal. It's like 6-inch, sorry, 6-inch pipe wrench. Sorry, I got my sizes all screwed up. But no, dude, like if I could, I would totally redo a restoration on tools. I love that. I love that. Just clean them up, make them nice again. That one's in perfect condition. And just showing that on the picture. I know you love the paint shaker. I just can't wait for you to do the video on it.
yeah, that's well, me either. It's just I got to pick colors and everything else. I don't know
I
if I'm going
just
to restore this one
no, I'd
because I
leave it
don't think
alone.
there is anything.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful the way it
Um,
is. With the aged patina and stuff on it, I think it's beautiful.
I may try to put redo the top of this
Yeah.
and put the label back on it, but
Or you could if
recreate
that's the
that.
box it came in, because the other option is put it in a wooden box, right?
This is the box that came in. I believe this to be the original box. It used to say or the company name on top of it, but it's kind of flaked off. So I
Yeah. If
seem to
I
remember the name being on it at one point.
if I were you, I would just reach out to them, show them what you got, and say, hey, I'm just about to do a video on this. Is there anything you guys want to add to it?
But
Because
yeah,
again, that's a
oh,
perfectly, as long as the blade is sharp, which again you can sharpen those razors.
I also
As
have
long as
boxes of them,
there you go.
so they're brand new boxes of them.
Yeah.
Well, not I didn't buy them last week. They
Yeah.
had them for probably 50 years, but
Just make
you
sure you hit them with a
know,
hone, right? Because they'll have a little bit oxidized
uh,
on them. But hit them with a hone, you're good to go. But that's what because that's such a nice piece of Americana, I would absolutely, because that's even if it's the same age as you, right?
it's at least as old as me. Um,
That's
so
pretty cool.
we believe it to have been old when, because again, the guy's not around to ask the questions for.
Sure.
He died in, he was an elderly man in the 1980s. So, yeah,
Well,
I
just
mean,
remember the 90s was 30 years ago. just
mm,
pointing that out. The 90s was 30 years ago, so perception of time. That is an old tool, whether you like it or not. That's awesome, dude.
yeah,
Do you have other cool
uh,
stuff like that laying around?
there's a lot of stuff back there that we're going to be digging out that's older than, yeah, that is that old. It I have
Well,
a
that
toolbox
company's
that's
been
from the
around
1920s.
almost 100 years. Because what did they say here?
The
28? 1928? Find it again. Hold on. I just want to quote it correctly. Give me a second. Continue. Sorry.
the toolbox that I got that out of was probably built in the 1920s.
That tool from the menu, like the first run, whatever, is from basically the 30s, right? So it's almost 100 years old, and it looks like it was you just picked it up off the shelf. That's pretty cool, man. Even if it's from the 2000s, that was 25 years ago.
I guarantee you it's not from the 2000s because the guy we got it from was dead then. Um,
What by even if it's before
the,
1990, right, when they changed over hands for manufacturing. What I'm saying is that is a nice piece of Americana. And tools, I love tools. It's like, my love with wanting to restore old 3D printers. I just love tools, man.
yeah, I remember it from my childhood. So yeah,
So that it's got to be close to like 80 years old, right?
yeah, that's it. Um, but the fact is, for remembering where it came from, um, that's the stick. There's there is a possibility that I remembered wrong, and it came from the United States Navy,
Hello, Delta.
but uh, I believe my story is probably more accurate, which still puts it at a dead end
Dude,
at probably
if
the
it's
70s.
if it's from the 70s, that is an almost 60-year-old tool.
Um, yeah, it is possible it's only from the 70s. That
Yeah,
would be the
who
earliest
cares?
or the
It doesn't
latest.
matter. It's I would
Um,
reach out to All Packs. Is it All Packs? Yeah, All Packs.
yeah.
Tell them about it. Tell them you're gonna do a YouTube video on it, and just see what they say. That I would do that. Cause one, just a short. If you showed a short, hey, here's my All Packs gasket cutter. Like if you just did a short on your phone, here's my, and then put some. Oh, sorry. Cameras. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. Oh, there we go. If you just um, if you just put some gasket material down, hello, Mr. Slack, and just did a short where you go, oh, I'm cutting a gasket with my All Packs. I forget the name of the machine. Gasket cutting machine. Just turn it. Make a YouTube short of that. Guarantee you views. Guaranteed views. Guarantee. I put money on it.
I
Maybe
said
maybe a little shot where you're showing it off, holding it.
but that I wanted to do because they would have used tools like that from the eras for some of the equipment I'm doing. So I
Yeah, of
think it's fitting.
course. 100%.
Um,
Couldn't agree more.
I mean, I've got a few machines that I know are over 100 years old.
Well, remember that was the 1900s, man. It's 2026, baby. That machine is from a company that's almost 100 years old, and they're still going. It's pretty cool. You have a little piece of Americana there.
I actually think it is kind of cool that they're still making gasket cutters like this. I wouldn't have
They're
figured
making.
there'd been much market for it.
Well, and did you
But
see the other one? The old style tin cutter style. Did you see that? Vice mounted tin cutter. That's what it looks like.
that's essentially what they're using. It's I know they're using it for gaskets, but yeah, that is what it is.
It's pretty
Uh,
cool. I love old
uh,
tools. Remember, I spent 2 years restoring old tools, taking tools from like the 30s and the 40s, sometimes from the 60s, and retooling them for modern manufacturing. I did 2 years doing that. It's a good
that's
time.
uh, that's what we'd like to do with the shop is have find enough old stuff.
Holy smokes,
Uh,
Slack.
17 color uh, QForge.
Qforge. That's a big
Um,
project.
that's a lot of color changes because you're gonna have to do manual swaps. I mean, that's some serious. Because I don't know if a single machine that'll do 17 colors. I think
16 is the highest, right? No, that's not right. 20 should be the highest if you have a splitter. It's gonna be a thick piece of
16.
plastic. 16.
It's the highest I can do. I'm trying to think of anything that'll do more. 4X1Cs with AMS units will do 16 colors.
Oh, so you'd be doing resets. Okay. That's gonna take some time. Very nice gift. My Twitch keeps crashing for some reason.
That definitely show that off because the companies would definitely love to brag about their filaments being used in that. I mean,
Hey, you can't give people advice for showing things off when you don't want to show things off, sir.
I know. I didn't say I can give advice, even if I don't
No,
follow it.
no, no. I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you to it. Oops, wrong
Okay.
button.
Wait, a P1, a P2. Okay, yeah, because you got the extra nozzle to do it. Uh, why 18 instead of 16? That's actually how did I figure that one out? Because I thought there were four color swaps on each AMS unit. Yeah, AMS. Okay, I don't know anything about the AMS HTs. I guess. I apparently I need to catch up on printers.
Oh, don't feel bad. I'm so out of the loop on printers. It's not even funny.
I wouldn't go back to bamboo right now for what's out there because I don't think the nozzle swaps way that they're doing it is going to hold up long term versus the way that Snapmaker is doing it. Again, my opinion, but I think the way that they're raising them and lowering them is going to be an issue sooner. So right now, I would be putting my money in the Snapmaker units. Also, the price of the Snapmakers are cheaper, but
Wait, you
is
mean
what it
that
is.
company I told you all about that I thought was amazing for years and years and years and no one was interested in, then all of a sudden the multi-tool comes out, people are into it? You mean that company? The company that I've been supportive ever since the Snapmaker came out and the J1S? Or sorry, the J1 because the S wasn't available at the time. Wait a minute. No, come now. Oh wait, yes.
I just think it's a better design right now, and it's
It's
cheaper
amazing.
printer.
It's amazing.
Um, so that's where I now will somebody come up with a better printer? Yes.
I'm waiting
Uh,
on that Soval because the IDEX index I think is a cool thing.
I agree, and I'm looking forward to coming out. I don't know what the price is or know much about Sobel, but
It's well, Soval makes Voron stuff, right? They take the open source Voron stuff and make that. They make their own stuff too, but that machine, I think pre-sales are 1,200 US, and they're gonna finishing. I'd have to look it up. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. The Soval mid. Now, that being said, it could be total junk. It
Yes.
could be, right? Now, does Soval have a pretty good history? They do, and they do make an IDEX. So, do they have a history of making machines? Yeah, they've got a
In
pretty
fact,
good history.
I'm going to make a very controversial statement to a lot of people. The U1 is not faster for us in production than the X1Cs.
Depends on the task.
It does, but on average, on a plate of fidgets, on average, the X1C is faster than the U1.
Okay,
Now, that does not mean I would buy an X1C over a U1 or the newer versions of it.
so the baseline Soval M1D, the mid, is going to be 1,300 MSRP. Sorry, 1,300 early bird and 1,800 MSRP, which puts it
Uh,
way out of my price range.
Delta Trader, if I had unlimited budget, I would be buying the Prusa tool changer and make it work. I have
The
heard
big
that
one.
they're a pain to make work. But I actually believe it's a fine machine and it would be my choice of machines if I had the budget for it.
Here we go. The M1D Advanced, the enclosed chamber with the top hat, active heated chamber, more stable thermal environment, better for engineering materials, enclosure kit, heated chamber module included. Early bird is 1,600, MSRP is 2,100. Remember, I don't
Uh,
have enough to even get a U1, so. But
but
shout
for
out
the
to Soval if you want to
price,
send me one.
uh, I would be buying the U1 and not the Prusa because most of us live with a realistic budget. And while I think the Prusa's a little bit better design in the end, you can buy multiple U1s for the same price as a Prusa, and it's not enough better for the price. So living in the real world, I would be buying a U1. But I don't feel that I should knock another product. That I think superior. Um, U1 simpler to set up and cheaper.
Which Prusa are you looking at?
The larger tool changer.
At the Core
The
1. Oh, there we go. Core
yeah,
1 plus Index.
technically the Core One Plus currently I would say I think it's a better machine,
So
but
the
it's
Core
the
1 Index, so the Index 4 tool conversion kit for the Core 1 Plus, just the conversion is $1,100. That can't be right.
yeah, probably is.
And then the 8 tool conversion is 1,500.
Um, the 8 tool one is I think the one to beat if you had no budget constraints.
That's a
However,
that's a lot of tool heads, man. 8 tools? That's a lot of tools. Yeah, so that is the upgrade. Sorry. Yeah, so it's 1,500 Canadian. So less 30%, less 40% for the US dollar.
plus you have to have the machine.
So it's about 1,000 US. And then I'm just trying to find the price of the machine. Give me a second here, because I don't look at
I think it's
Prusa
like a
stuff.
four thousand dollar machine too.
Hold on, Core 1 Plus. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Core 1 Plus. It's $2,000 Canadian, so less 40%. So it's like 1,200, 1,300 US, something like that.
Uh, I think it's an impressive machine, but again, you could buy how many U1s?
2, roughly 2.
Well,
Let me hold on. Let me Snapmaker you on.
3 by the
Snapmaker.
time you're done with all the upgrades.
Well, if you're talking the upgrades, yeah, you got 1,500 Canadian plus another 2 grand, so 3,500 Canadian. And then if you go at the U1, how much is a U1 in Canadian? Or they hide the price on the Snapmaker website. Go to buy. It's on sale right now. So it is $850. $850 goes into 3,500. How many times?
3
at
plus a little change.
500 divided by
If you want more than 4
850
colors right now, I actually
goes
think
into about
that's the
four
one.
times. Goes into it about 4 times. So you can get basically for the price, and actually it's less than that because the machine is actually less than that with my discount code. So,
If you want more, or now there is some color changers on the U1, but you're then back to purge and some of the problems with the U1 will pop up. Um, I don't think the U1's the best for changing filament via an AMS style unit based upon its design. So I do think some of the filament changes are going to be an issue. Now,
well, what this machine can do, what a U1 can do compared to the Prusa is it does half the work. It actually, because you figure out the ratio, but basically it's twice as many heads,
yes.
right? But they haven't said yet. Well, I guess you could hack it because the Snapmaker is big on hacking stuff. But you could hack the Snapmaker and get it to use Vivids, which means that you could have 5 colors per tool, hypothetically.
Which
So you'd
basically,
have to
that's what
figure
I'm
out the
saying.
price,
But
right?
I think the U1 is weak on the filament swapping for
4
an AMS.
colors.
No, I'm talking about for the AMS style. If you're adding an AMS unit to the 4-color thing, I think it's a little weak on that side. Now,
Well, remember you can still add an AMS to the Core 1.
yeah, theoretically,
It
but if
just
you have 8
can't
colors, what's
do
the point?
8 colors. You could do it's well. How many Slack doing 16 right now?
At that point, you could actually probably just keep adding index heads until you get to 16 at some point too.
Well,
Um,
there's a max limit, right? But
welcome in Peslas.
there is, like each time, like color swapping. It's like having an Oh, they finished it. They nice.
We'll sneak peek
El Tigre.
because well, tigers. So that's a sneak peek. Those will be photographed and put up soon.
El Tigre. For those of you who enjoy Community.
I think they was it Tigers or what cereal was that for? I don't know. Best songs, I have no idea. But yeah, these will be. I got to look at them. I guess we probably should have looked at them before we shown them off. But I think they seem to be cute enough. Yeah, it's Frosted Flakes. You're right. I was having a brain freeze. I really do like the texture. I don't know if we can pick it up. Nope. I did not see the Hangover movie. Sorry for the interruption, Maker.
Oh, it's whatever, dude. It's your show.
These were just a new release.
El Tigre is a Community reference, the TV show Community. That's all.
It's.
Yeah, no, you
I
don't know
think it
pop
was one of
culture. I
those
get it.
pop culture ones that went over my head. They're tactical. I don't mind a vile movie, but just not. A lot of the ones that were just looked like drinking movies weren't my cup of tea. So I'm not one of the cool guys, I guess, that go to that stuff. I never was a frat guy. Yeah, those. While we were debating on the eyes, I don't know if you can. Let's see. I'll get it to focus. I think those came out well.
Yeah, very cute.
So that's. But again, those will be out soon. Probably tomorrow or so. It's always a safe thing to do. Piss off Mike Tyson. Doesn't take much to go over my head. I guess you could argue I'm short, and definitely argue I'm dense, right? Something like that. But yeah, those will be out. And definitely, if anybody is a member, help us get those up too, if you could. So looking in a mirror, Tyson. Yeah. But I forgot what we were discussing when the Tigers came up. Sorry.
Me neither, dude.
When Sandy brought the new files up, I lost track of things because I was hoping to stream that printing, but it looks like I can't run OBS. That's the scenario I'm getting because I don't think my audio is cut out, has it?
No. Nor have you had any lag.
Maybe my computer sucks.
Could be.
Yeah, I get it, polymorph. I quit pop culture when Idiocracy came out, and I realized it was a documentary.
Yep.
That was the last movie I needed to watch. I'd learned everything I needed to learn once I saw Idiocracy.
Don't you wear Crocs?
No,
Oh, good.
no, I do not own a pair of Crocs. I think
Great
Sandy owns a pair of
documentary.
Crocs.
Great documentary.
Yeah. But Sandy has not seen Idiocracy, have you?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said you hadn't once. Yeah, those should be out tomorrow for anybody that does. Hopefully tomorrow, right? Wait, what sequel for what? Idiocracy, or is that just what we consider life?
Huh.
I do need to, I guess, print a set of Crocs, right? That way I can have printed shoes. We are definitely living it, but I think it was filmed as a documentary anyway.
Yep. UFC fight on the White House lawn.
That was right out of the movie. I'll give you that one. I'm surprised they even did that, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things about it, but that's you could actually even argue that without our current leadership, as far as Idiocracy being a documentary, to be fair. But
I have no opinion on said things. I gotta be careful because this stuff makes me mad, or this stuff puts me in an awkward position. So.
You could argue that without politics, though. But yeah, I get the politics are a problem anymore, especially for those that want to come from Canada. They do pay attention to that.
They do. I do not get involved in these things.
I did not know that there was a Freedom 250 Grand Prix. That is actually news to me, so I missed that. That would have, I probably would have actually paid attention to that. Although I'm more of a NASCAR guy.
Like driving around in circles.
Yeah, I mean, who needs to turn right?
Actually, I missed the. There used to be road course NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they have any of those anymore, do they? I'm not crazy about NASCAR, but I do like it. I did have a piece of a NASCAR car cut up for it. In a very rare signature on these, this is the pit crew, not the race car driver.
That's cool. Well, the pit crew's full of engineers, so.
Yes, that's why I thought that was kind of a cooler thing from NASCAR than the actual car itself, or like a driver signature. It was kind of a lot. They also sent me a wrench from the pit crew.
That's cool.
It's unfortunately in my toolbox because I use the wrench. And yes, I know that would make people mad. But the wrench is actually in my toolbox and being used. But yeah, I mean, the pit crew, I've got mad respect, and I thought it was kind of cool that Gear Wrench they sent that out. They had a contest. What would you do with that if they gave it to you? And I said I would put that on my toolbox and make my toolbox go faster.
There it is.
So they sent it to me to put on my toolbox to make my toolbox faster.
Did you paint a red stripe on your toolbox? Because that's the key.
No, and it did not make my toolbox go faster. So unfortunately,
that's why you need to. That's why you need to paint a red stripe on your toolbox.
They should have sent me stickers. That would have been it. I needed stickers.
It's true. It's a good idea.
That's yeah. I actually the only reason I even entered was they said something about pit crews would sign it. I'd never seen that before in a contest where the pit crew was the prize. Normally it's a driver signature or some BS like that.
Well, nothing wrong with a good driver. It's just good driver can only do so much, right?
It's more of a rarity for the others, kind of. And besides, it was a snide remark. That was the actual contest. You go onto their social media and you entered what would you do with it. So to me, that was kind of smarting off. I'd put it on my toolbox and make my toolbox go fast. Throwaway comment. Then they contacted me and said that was a winning comment. Yeah. Years ago on social media. I got that in a 1-inch wrench. The 1-inch wrench was a ratcheting 1-inch wrench, so I stuck it in my toolbox because ratcheting wrenches that large are quite expensive.
They are. Regular wrenches that size are quite expensive.
Yeah, so, and a 1-inch is actually somewhat handy, so I stuck it in my toolbox. It's not. No, it was not new. It was used. It was scratched up when I got it.
No, it's a you name no. you say something cool and that becomes your band name. It's just,
oh, okay.
So now you'd have to say something interesting, and then that would be the name of your first album song or your first album.
Yeah. Well,
1-inch wrench is your band name.
Okay. I should have named the
and
AI
1 inch
stuff
is
I
useful.
As,
but 1 inch is useful would be the name of your first album.
1 inch is useful.
Or I stuck it in my toolbox.
Box of tools would be a album. I One Trench and Yucca Duckets. That's a better band name.
Now you're
But one
getting
is
it.
well, I wasn't into music when I was younger, so that's I didn't get into that hobby. Just do AI music for my releases here lately. Been hit or miss for social media. Good book title too. I think we're incorrigible, so that yeah, it would help Agent Color.
I was gonna say you
And
guys
you're
are
watching,
silly
so
willies, but that just encourages you. Listen, that the silly willies would be the first song on the album.
I think my first song should have been the what was it? I think it was, I forgot what I called the Maker Studio song that I made with that we play before each or I've moved to the new video or before we start the video of the Maker Studio. Nozzle Clog. That would make some good background music. I'll have to add the Nozzle Clog theory to see if I can make a song of it for background. Because in the makerspace thing, I was thinking about doing AI songs for the background. My Trench is definitely a ska band. I don't know about that. I did some AI songs because you can't copyright it to play in the background when we stream outside. I know the stuff sucks, but
It doesn't suck. It's just like elevator music. Just doesn't really have a lot of heart. Although I do really like your one song, the one you posted for this show. I really like that.
the one I played last week, that's now the entry or
Yeah, I like
intro
that song.
music now.
Yeah, I like that.
I was proud of that one.
But it's like I
Uh,
said before, right? Nobody works for free. So nobody's gonna write me 6 songs for my channel and just give them to me. Nobody's gonna help me. Nobody's gonna do my book. No professional editor is gonna do my book for free. Nobody's gonna help me paint models for free, right? Everybody wants to be paid to paint models. It's every little bit of effort everybody wants to get paid for, which I have no problem with. But the reason why we use AI art is because I can't hire an artist to do a book. I can't hire an editor. I can't hire a proofreader. I can't hire people to double check the math is okay. It's all the same, man. Don't beat yourself up. It's good. And if you can't afford it, then you're gonna do it, right? So what
oh,
difference
if
does
I
it
could
make?
afford to hire a band to play a bunch of songs that I could play in the background while I'm working in the shop, yeah, I would. But
Yeah.
or an intro song to the channel, yeah, I would. But I had to basically use some AI music, and I did think the one was pretty good. Once,
I like it.
um,
It's a good song. It's fun. Most people won't
uh,
get it, which is what makes it cool. And I like it. And I like the style. I put a couple remix bits on your channel maker. I don't know what you're talking about, Slack. I tried to make an AI parody of Master of Puppets called Pasta of Puppets. Yeah, remember, like that's gonna be a skill. Is like being able to talk to the machines correctly so they understand what you're talking about. Mine's been pretty trained on what I do though, so exactly, Cola.
oh
That's exactly how it is. We were talking. It's so funny. You guys are gonna have to go back and watch the VOD of this. Is there gonna be a VOD of this tonight, Bob?
yes,
Are you putting it on
we
YouTube
didn't
too?
do anything as far as that'll get
Thanks,
us in
dude.
trouble. Yeah, it's in YouTube and the other.
So you
So
guys need to go back and watch. We had a whole conversation about doing a lot takes help. And particularly getting people with that skill set takes help. So no, Cola, I totally agree with you. Actually, that's so funny that you bring that up though. And actually, if we can go back to that point earlier, Bob, somebody did reach out to me via email, and they said for $10 we'll do some editing of your videos using AI.
But they're going to use AI, which basically means you might as well let AI do it.
Well, that would be my next question: is how much would it cost me for a year's subscription to an AI program that I can put my episodes into and get them to cut it up for me? Now, granted, my shows run too long because my shows are 4 hours, not 3 hours. But yeah, there's absolutely, and remember, some of the engineers I know use AI. So whip and weird
Technically, I
science
mean,
remixes. I'll do those. Oh yeah,
I think you could actually do it for about $15 a month. You can have one of the AI companies that'll splice up your videos.
because that's what
Uh,
and that's what you need, like a video remixing, right? Yeah, you just have to learn the prompts once you have them down. Well, you can also train the. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about, polymorph.
yeah,
Because you still have to have a good eye for it.
there is still now. You still have to go through what they do, but if that's
Yeah.
all they're going to send back to you is they pumped it through the AI system. Technically, a few of us probably should go together and pay for an AI thing and pump it through. But
Well, I
you
pay.
know,
What do I bought X for a year to try and get my numbers up, which hasn't really done anything. And Grok is not a very AI. ChatGPT is better than Grok as far as I can tell, because I can't copy pasta anything from Grok, which really bugs me. It has so many things.
I paid for the songs to where I could actually edit and write songs and put it in there. And that's how we got to the one where we could
Well,
actually type in our own lyrics.
yeah, that's what Cola is saying.
But
Cola's saying you've got to
um,
learn the prompts. You've got to learn how to use the tool. I think you
and that's
all would
also
want
so that I
to do
could
much
learn a
more.
little bit about AI and learn prompting myself. But the problem I have with AI is I don't think you should be able to totally like I shouldn't go and say, hey, I wrote this song. And I think that's where we all have to figure out where does the line go.
It's already
You
it's
know,
already over, man. There's at least 3 musical artists that I know of that are AI. What do you mean, polymorph? I don't understand. Would Bob and I do more tools and stuff? Yes, but we don't do unboxings. Well, I sorry, I don't mean to speak for you, Box, but I don't I don't do unboxing. You'll never like I'll unbox and show you my excitement for getting a new tool, but then it's gonna sit on the channel. I'm gonna run it to death. I need to replace my bamboo because it's been there for 4,000 hours, right? You want to pay an editor or someone you'd want to do more content.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
exactly. Yeah.
mind
Take
doing
the
a
music
tour reviews,
on
but I don't think companies would want me doing tool reviews because I'm a mechanic and an engineer. I'm not sure that I'm the demographic that they truly want
you
doing
are
tool reviews.
you are. It's just like me.
Um,
It's like anyone who sees my content, basically. Because remember, we've made friends. Our community has made friends. We're bridging more into the big YouTubers lately, and we're making friends all over the place. And there's a bunch of us working together, and they're like, yeah,
I mean,
like they're. It's like I told you before, and we went over this, so I won't go deep into it. But people are sick of being placated. They just want like an honest opinion. And if you can say straight up, yeah, I'm sponsored by these people and da da da. But if you just want to do reviews, you know, you can review that gasket cutter, which is what I think you should do. And I still think you should send them the thing, but don't give them like
I'm planning
reviews
on
of it. Just
doing a review of the gasket cutters. It's funny to review an antique tool,
yeah, it
but
is. It is cool.
that and compare it to my laser. But I don't know that like printer companies are going to want me to do reviews,
I don't know. They
but
want
I
me
could
to
be
do them.
shocked. Um,
Both my
that's
bamboo, and I used to say, why would you send me a bamboo? Because there's nothing you can really do to it. So unless BTT sends me a bunch of parts to review, there's nothing to be done with that machine other than change nozzles. And then Snapmaker sent me that one, and the Snapmaker is my primary prototyping machine. So they tried this whole thing
yeah.
of like, oh well, it's not really a sponsorship, and I was like, are you sending a machine? They're like, yeah. Like, you want me to do a YouTube video? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't do YouTube videos, but you want one, yeah? And you want to see it first, right? Yeah? Then that's sponsorship. Just because companies will try to get around it because they don't want to say, oh, well, we're a permanent sponsor of you. But I'm like, if I'm using your affiliate code, right, then that's like me being tied to you, right? And I use affiliate code. I got what 4 or 5 affiliate codes on my channel now. So, but no, I agree with Polymorph. Basically, we'd have to, and I agree. I'm terrible. I'm like you, Bob. I just do what I want to do, and if companies want to get involved, they want to get involved. But yeah, like um, doing something where you're doing like a more mainstream sort of thing, like gear wrenches, right? You have a history with gear wrenches. They don't want
Yes.
liability if you fuck. No, I don't know what it was. A lot of them are like hands off because they don't like, because you're a little wild. They think they think I'm a little bit wild. But oh, sorry. Zoom, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I actually did do some
Bless you.
minor sponsorships with Gear Wrench in the past when I had
Yeah.
tool review channel. I've got quite a few weird things that we got, like the car thing.
Oh, I know. Oh, dude, I know I'm wild. But this year, I've said very clearly, this year I'm trying to keep it tame. I'm doing my best not to go off. There's a couple things that are hot topics with me, but I'm doing my best. We'll see come January, because we'll see what my analytics. If my growth isn't doubled, then why would I bother? I'm just gonna go back to doing the way I want to do it. And as I've always said, if the sponsors disappeared tomorrow, I would still be doing what I do today.
We did some tool sponsorships,
Ooh, schmancy.
but
Yeah,
these
I'm trying
were
to surf the algorithm. Yeah.
those were sent to social media influencers for
Ooh, schman. Are those gold
Nipex.
plated?
Yes.
Nipex? You're such a nerd. Also, I'm super envious. Yeah, I am surfing. I'm trying my best to surf the algorithm right now. I'm trying to get the growth, but it's not looking good. I'll be honest. When Bob's like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to express your point," but
uh,
I've never asked for a printer. Not once.
I actually have not as well. We did get sent one from Bamboo, or well, a long time ago.
I got sent one from Bamboo like
So
2 years ago. The artisan came just before my dad died, so like a year and a half ago. I don't
uh,
I don't I don't ask for anything specific. Yeah, 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 yeah.
technically, they were at one point going to designers and just sending some of us, especially back when they first came out, trying to get people to make files for the Bamboo, I think. And when Maker World just fired up, they sent out a bunch of printers.
The reason why I got mine is community response. A couple of creators I know went to Bamboo and they're like, "Are you gonna send this guy a printer or what?" And they said no. And they said, "Well, then we're gonna send him one." And they said, "Oh, okay, then we'll send him one."
So,
Oh yeah, marketing and getting stuff into hands. We've had this conversation over on Project Stats Garage. Why are you sending tech content creators, people who work with computer hardware, 3D printers, and CNC machines? It's insane. Why are you not getting small creators to show off your work and then just promoting it with internally where you have more control? No idea. It's the fact, like the fact that Bob runs a print farm and that no one is trying to become his primary filament supplier, no one out of all of the companies, and he's known across social media, his stuff sells at shows, and they're not trying to use Bob and Sandy as like figureheads. Like, hey, look at these awesome creators that we have out of the United States. They're a married couple and they make stuff and they're wholesome and they're fun and they run a print farm and they're not doing that. Like, why Bamboo's not knocking down his door? Why Snapmaker, any Cubic, Elegoo, whomever is not trying to get this Prusa? Why it all goes to the top end, I'll never know. Because the top end users unbox it, leave it on a shelf. Me, you send me a
that's
printer, I'm going to break it. I break every printer I've ever had. Every single one I've broken. My J1 is still busted, and I don't know. It's a circuit board thing I don't understand. Yeah, marketing is absurd. It goes to people like non-designers, non-creatives, reviewers are the ones that get me the most. Somebody who unboxes a printer and then never touches it again, that I do not understand that at all. Like, what do you know? So,
At one time, I thought it'd be fun to do stuff like that, but the problem is they don't want you to have time to run it, and most reviewers are not doing production.
yeah. So,
So,
gee, where should those machines go then?
uh,
And
but
it's like I said, I don't like unboxing. I got no problem with people doing unboxings. I got no problem with people running affiliate streams trying to make money. None of that bothers me at all. People got to make money. People got to sell stuff. Like we were saying earlier, I can't sell a thing to save my life. I can give you 8 reasons not to buy the pen, not the one you need to buy it. But for
I don't
Bob,
have a problem with anything until they are dishonest about it. And a lot of the reviewers I know of are not dishonest, but we all know a couple that are.
yeah, but
And
that's not the point.
you know,
Reviewers are fine. You put 100 hours into the machine, it barely has worn. You got 8,000 hours like Liz has got over on her machines. That's somebody who's got an opinion, right? Like she's got a wall of machines behind her. Yes, they're all bamboo, which limits her accessibility. But like one time I heard her say, this is Pez Liz, the content creator, for anybody who's curious. If you ever watch her show, behind her are some bamboos. And one time she said, oh, I got a machine with over 8,000 hours on it. That's somebody who's got an opinion. I'll put 4,000, I'll put 3,500, 4,000 hours on a machine in a year, right? I've got an opinion. Bob's got an opinion because he's got a literal print farm that he uses to sell product to either develop new product, right? Because he's a designer. Ah, go away, camera. Go away.
we actually sell. I
Well, hold
know
on.
a
I was
lot
going
of
to get to. I was going to
people
get to
don't.
that. He's a digital designer, and then they literally sell in events. So he's a production farm that also sells, would be willing to sell via internet, and sells in real life. There's a bunch of things, but you give it to tech reviewers who know nothing. Yeah, and he's a brick and mortar. Why
Um,
companies are not knocking on his door? Here, have 4 of our printers come talk to us in a month, 4 months, 8 months, 12 months. Right? Yeah, but who would talk about it, Liz? That's all I'm talking about. With MakerDeck, it's too hard to concentrate. But my point is, right? Like if you've got, I believe that was what you said, 8,000 hours at least one machine. But yet they're not flooding you with, oh, go away, camera. It's my hands. I'm sorry, everybody. I get animated. But that's my point, right? Ugh. Is it's just, yeah.
essentially, Lizzie's saying that basically you would be a good one for reviews
Of
because
course.
you'll sit there and basically run the piss out of it,
If you
and
got
that's what they need to do.
8,000 hours on a machine, that's real production. That's not 100 hours. That's not 1,000 hours. You got wear-in time. You've got material changes. You got part changes, belt tensioning. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in there. Sure, but that's a thing, right? Professional tech reviewers know as much about printers of 80 different printers, 10 years of printing. Do professional tech printers know as much as I? No, they don't. Because again, they just turn the thing on. Yeah, wearing through PTFT tubes, that's common. But they just turn the thing on, run some sample prints, and then it collects dust because they got paid
But
for it.
still, if you've actually run a print farm or run a printer for 8,000 hours, that's realistically the same as running a print farm, even though it's just one printer. You
Yeah.
still run into the maintenance issues and know what to look for or what you're going to have to do. A lot of tech reviewers haven't put 8,000 hours on a single machine because they're all constantly going to a new one, a new one, a new one. So they
Not
don't
just
know
that.
where the failure points are.
Not just that, but they're not running them either. Like I see. I got all wound up. Anyway, enough of what I think.
Yeah, this made a plastic benchy good printer. Yeah. I hate to put it this way, and that's why I've always been a little leery on reviews, but that could be why I'll never do much of them, is every printer is a good printer the first week you own it, or 99% of them are a good printer the first week you own it. Ask me in 30 days if I've had a problem with it. A production, not the first week. That's basically the issue. I mean, but you can't lump everybody in on that.
There's also tech reviewers who are like computer reviewers, iPad reviewers. They get machines, or they're getting sponsored to talk about it. So you're just buying a review. Anyway, I can't talk about this.
And they have no idea. They have no idea even how most of the stuff works long term. As I said, that's the problem. Even again, there are reviewers I've seen that they don't keep a printer long enough to know the problems. They're not running print farms. It's the same. It's a small studio, and I get it, but they're not gonna give you any useful information. And a review
you're
is
buying a review.
An unboxing is a first glance. A review, if you're going to call it a review, put 100 hours on it.
100 hours isn't enough. That's 1 week.
At least it's a start.
Yeah, but it's a week. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, at least for instance, if Pez lives through a printer up on Maker World for a week of printing, that's more than 99% of reviewers
Sure
will ever do.
I agree. But you can't really know how well a machine works until you get about a month on it. It's got to wear in, right?
Yeah, but people aren't going to wait until you have 1,000 hours on a machine to want a review on a new product. They want reviews faster.
Depends on what your rider is with companies. Again, that's
now
like I said, I'm not
or somebody early to where they could hide it, and they could run 1,000 hours on it. But most of the people that are doing
we've had that talk about how the community is doing beta testing for all the companies now, and same with video games. It's all the same, But I'm not a beta tester. I'm not a test filament guy anymore. I am so far out of the loop on all this stuff. It don't matter. Like honestly, I shouldn't even be saying a thing.
We should actually give credit to BTT because we know that the Panda Treat was out 6 months before realistically they put it up for sale.
As
we know
I've
people
said
are
before,
testing.
BTT is probably one of the most interesting companies coming out of China. Bless you. That the thing about Big Tree Tech that most people don't know is that you can go to them with an idea for a part or a machine, and they'll work with you. Most people don't know that.
But we have to give them a lot of credit because they sent them out and people were running them for months before they put it up for sale.
Sure.
They did a public testing where they sent them to people that basically ran the piss out of them and worked with it. So let's give them credit. I was not obviously not a beta tester, but that I kind of like the public beta test that they did on that one because it makes me feel better about the product. But I also get trying to hide some beta testing for the product too. So I mean, I understand if they weren't, but I do.
No, there should be no hiding beta testing. Beta testing is your pre-sales. Beta testing, it's like, for example, people were dogging the U1 for its issues when it first came out, right? But they hadn't even updated the firmware yet. So it's again, this is probably a subject I have no valid opinion on because I'm not really involved in any of this. So.
Well, yeah, BTT's a great product. I'm just saying that the beta, I was impressed because that was a beta test I saw coming. I saw people out with it that way before they released the product, and I saw them having the product to operate on the Panda Tree. That was probably the first beta that I saw, not all the way through because I know people had it before, but at least enough to where I'm not really sure what the Panda Cyborg is, but enough to where I was impressed by the way they did it because it wasn't a general beta tester, like, oh well, I'm reviewing all these printers and I don't have time to run 3 or 4 products on it, and I'm just going to spend 20 minutes on this task and put it away and pretend I know I'm an expert on it. It was sent to people that were running product, like technically Pezla's K2. They were running product and they were done. That was their task. They didn't have 100 beta tests and 100 reviews to do. So, okay. Oh, wait, don't they already have that out? The Cyborg? I thought they already had a Clipper modification for the P1S. Am I wrong? Okay, it's not in stock. So it's out, it's just not in stock. Okay. But yeah, uh, again, I thought somebody had said that they had a Clipper board out for the P1S. But again, I could be wrong. I don't have a P1S anyway. Although I wish I kind of had, because I honestly think it's better for the ABS and PET G prints, because they seem to be putting out chemicals that mess with the LiDAR. And it's a pain in my ass to clean the LiDAR camera. And yes, I'm lazy. But nonetheless, I would probably, although you would still have to enclose it and do some work to get it to run the stuff properly, I think the lack of the LiDAR is a better setup. If I could seal, well, I guess I could, but if I sealed the U1, I'd probably be more likely to run the more harsh chemicals or filaments in that. The the Voron would be fine with the ABS and ASA. I'm just saying that the ABS and ASA is not great with LiDAR
No, because
in
it
my
off gases.
experience. Yes.
It off gases, so it's what happens is it gums it up. But you can see that you go watch any ABS, like when I run ABS, I have to wash my booth. I have to wash my boron
So
because it builds up inside. You can see it, so because it off gases so much.
I was trying to stay with the same printer, but I think overall I would have been smarter if I'd set up a P1S to run
No,
the.
no,
Huh?
the U1 is a much better machine.
Well, I'm talking about back when I did it. It would have been
Yeah,
better to set up a
but we've talked
P1S
about
versus
this
a X1C. Uh,
doing custom doing filament to each machine and having specific machines like we've talked about TPU, PET-G, and ABS. All you could set up a machine to run just that, and it'd be great, right? So
yeah, I mean, a lot of people, when you're switching filaments, you end up with a couple prints that are screwed up because it won't get it all out
yep.
of your hot ink unless you change the nozzle.
Even then,
So
not a guarantee because it's dirty inside. There's weirdness that happens. The machines get sort of used to running a particular material.
so you're better off having a machine if you can for that material.
Yeah.
Yeah, at best you would want dedicated TPU nozzles, realistically, polymorph. I mean, you really kind of want a dedicated TPU machine,
Yep.
ideally. That P1S would be a great ASA machine. It really would be, because you can actually fully switch it. Um, I I would fully, do that. I would probably be willing to run ASA and ABS in the same machine because it's similar enough. They're both high temp. I don't think it'd be too much of an issue. Kind of like PCTG and PETG. I'd run in the same machine, but you know, I'm if I have my way, I won't run any of the others. Have a good night, Jake. Yes, Chicken Wire. I'm probably not going to stay on too much
Yeah,
later
it's
because
it's
I got to
my
get up early
time.
in the morning.
Yeah, I'm burnt. I am exhausted, man. You got 3 hours out of me? How much did you get out of me today?
I don't even know how long I've been on. Yeah, 3.5 hours actually. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
when
was
you,
late.
because I think it came on when I first started this other stream. I'm probably going to look for somebody to raid here in a second. Okay, the H2S to H2C, that's where it changed the nozzle changers. I could see doing that. I mean, in fact, I would probably do that if it was in my machine, depending on expense. I don't really want to go back to a bamboo right now because I don't think they've got anything innovative enough for that. The 7 colors, because you're only swapping the nozzles, you still got a lot of path on that. I don't know that you're getting enough to get the 7 to just the nozzle swaps perfect enough. I would rather the tool changer, but that's me. You know, now I'm surprised it didn't have any poop. I bet would have thought it would have pooped every time on the 7 nozzle swap because it doesn't have to prime the tower or the nozzle. I definitely recommend a CNC machine. I mean, if you've got the room in the house, my carbide is nice. Still slow, so it still poops. It just you have to prime it. Let me see if I can find somebody though. Sandy's moving upstairs anyway. Let's see here. Who all's on? We are going to raid into Stephen Poole here in a minute
Mr. Poole.
because I know he's up. So actually, why don't we do that?
What can cut pry bars and keychains? Any CNC mill. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, you. Although I don't like running the metal on mine because it's a router version.
You can
Any
totally do it.
rigid one. I know, but
You can do
it
it.
is
Just
a little
depends on
harder
the
on it.
tooling.
Okay, we are going to raid in with let's say 22 people raiding in on Stephen Poole. Stop in and say hi. I believe I don't see him in the background, but I'm sure he's there. So because he does see we're coming. I think I clicked raid.